Alright, now we're back. Ugh. The fuck? Gups in the connection line, it seems. Nah, since my dad had to like reset some channels on the FiOS, the whole like internet rebooted. It's 2-0. Yeah, it's Fios. Hit a BlackBerry from launch year till 2014. "2014 was the year I got my first iPhone. Actually, technically 2013. I got it for Christmas. You had to use the BlackBerry to call until you had enough money for the data plan. Wintha, how old are you again? I forget sometimes. What was your first NASCAR race you watched? First NASCAR race I watched, I don't quite remember. I mean, it was always on in my house. NASCAR has always been on in my house ever since I was born, and before that, it was always on. So I'm sure, you know, the week after I was born, I guess is probably the first race I ever watched, but I remember a few races from 2009, but when I really got into it was 2010, so the 2010 Daytona 500 was the first one that, like, I remember exactly what race it was. It was the first one that it's like, I remember exactly which race. I remember watching it, you know, remember all that stuff. I'm sorry, I'm texting my friend right now. No one's watching this anyway, so what do I care? If I'm boring. I'm explaining to my friend why I hate Stranger Things. You are. I am religious and pray to you every day. You pray to me? Why? That is a terrible decision. That is just not a good decision. I pray that Sam does not smoke weed tonight. Well, too fucking bad, because it's gonna happen. Alright? Have I seen a TikTok that scares me? I mean, I don't really get scared. I see TikToks are like worrisome, you know. I wouldn't say scared as in the sense of like haunted fucking crazy zombie guy popping out and scaring me. Like I've never been scared by that, but like sometimes if I just see some like clearly very bad parents on TikTok, that'll like worry me. I'm like, I feel bad for your kids, you know? Or like when I see people like the Andrew Tate stuff, that scares me. Like in the sense that it's like really you're pushing out this idea that women are fucking objects. Like that in that sense, yeah, it scares me. But like not like frightening to where it's like, "Oh my god, I'm so scared," you know. Padres beat Dodgers last night. That's good. I like both the Padres and the Dodgers, but Jesus. Apparently, I wasn't watching when that happened, but the Anthony Alfredo, he said that he was sick and that's what caused his crash. How the fuck does sickness cause crash? I don't think the sickness, but I feel like some of the symptoms could, like, you know, if you're really lightheaded and you're just, or like your vision starts to be weird, I guess that could do it. Like, make yourself really lightheaded and then try to drive a car, you know? There we go. You have mixed feelings about the Dodgers? Game 2. Oh, I want the normal ones. On one hand, I know they're ridiculously stacked, and on the other hand, I really don't want to see them win the World Series. Yeah, I mean, I get that from being a Padres, or for you being a Padres fan and the whole rivalry with the Dodgers. My thing is, from an outsider's perspective, I think it's just really fun to watch both teams. You know, especially when they play against each other. I think it's just a really good thing for baseball. You know, I like the Dodgers. Obviously, you know, my favorite player, Mookie Betts, being on the Dodgers. And just I like a lot of their players. And obviously the Padres, you know, fuck Manny Machado, but I like Tatis, even though he fucking took the fucking performance-enhancing drugs. I think that's actually a good thing for him to do. Everyone should do that. And I like a lot of the Padres players. I also love Don Orsillo. So, yeah, I like both the teams. Heh. The Cardinals, Giants, and Red Sox are more likable to you? Well, I definitely agree with that. I am the owner of the St. Louis Cardinals, so... I gotta take a shit. I will be back. How did my iPad die as soon as I plugged it in? That literally makes no sense. So they're drying the track right now. Didn't see me there? It's impossible to miss me. Ohtani is amazing. Wish Otani went to the Red Sox. Me too. Would Otani work in Boston? Yeah. I think Otani would now work anywhere because, you know, it was like back last year and, you know, before that, it was when we didn't have the universal DH. It was like, you know, he's pretty much wasting away his career in the AL. I feel like back before the universal DH, he would only work on a team that has, you know, the pitchers hitting. But now that it's universal DH, everyone's on an even playing field. I feel like he could literally work anywhere. It just depends on, I feel like, who could best manage him. And I feel like the Angels are actually one of the worst teams to be doing that. So, as everyone knows, their management is terrible. On a channel called NHK Japan, I saw an Otani documentary telling this his life as an Angels pitcher wasn't fun starting out. I mean, yeah, I can understand that. Coming to a new country. What baseball documentary have I watched before? I mean, I'm sure I've watched some other ones, but the only one I really remember was the 2018 World Series documentary. Remember watching a Red Sox documentary or a 1 hour show talking about the great players on Nesson? Did we give up a walk yet? I think we did. So are we perfect or... Yeah, so just going for no hitter right now. Ooh. Alright. I love hearing what players say about rivalry games and how they see it in their minds. A lot of players love it. I personally love like Red Sox Yankee games. Obviously when the Red Sox win though. There's another God of War game? Really? Are they, like they're making one or like there is? Haven't seen anyone speak about the Rays versus Marlins rivalry because no one cares about those teams. And it's like they don't really have a rivalry. It's just because they're in the same state. You gonna watch NHRA on Monday? Alright, so drivers are being called to their cars at 6 p.m. You're upset that NASCAR tomorrow is at 11:30 p.m.? I mean, that's better than most night races, though, because usually night races for you would start around, like, 12:30 or 1, you know? Alright, I'm switching back over.
So this is every win up to 269.
Oh, nice. That's so cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Jeff Gordon, he was like my idol growing up. My first day of kindergarten, I was wearing Jeff Gordon everything, head to toe, backpack, and all that. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Another NASCAR championship for Jeff Gordon.
Somebody who's like really business savvy and obviously savvy in a race car who can teach you a lot.
So I've got, once we start here, it's every championship, everybody that's won a championship. Terry, Jimmy, Chase, and you.
Made it.
You made it, man. You're on my wall.
Nice. So these are your offices then?
These are just mine,
Okay.
yeah. Well, come on in.
GQ.
That's mine, yeah. GQ award.
Oh, GQ.
Yeah, man. My body used to look like that. You got your championship, you got your dominating year. That's the thing, once you raise the bar, right now the bar's set. You can't ever go backwards from there. Anything less than a championship is just gonna be a disappointment.
With a totally new car and style of racing and pit stops and all that, I think it would say a lot about like you as a driver, your team. I think for sure, yeah, if you could do it back to back in two different style eras of car, would be huge.
Hendrick Motorsports is a name everybody recognizes.
To make a comparison, they're probably the New York Yankees of NASCAR.
Hendrick is one of a handful of powerhouse teams, along with Joe Gibbs Racing and Team Penske, with hundreds of employees, huge budgets, and they've snapped up most of the championships for years.
There's always little teams on a track house that are scratching and clawing and grinding it out to compete with these massive teams. The David versus Goliath story, let's race it.
I had this idea to start a cup team, but it's going to be different.
Hendrick is the gold standard. They are the team that you're always shooting for. We don't show up to the racetrack to believe that we're going to finish behind Hendrick. We're showing up to the racetrack to win.
Let's challenge what even fundamentally a race team is.
Trackhouse is viewed as an upstart organization, and Justin Marks is a disruptor.
We want to create a brand that compels people. We want to create a brand that resonates with fans, where our fans and the people that are associated with our business feel like they're a part of something, feel like they're a part of our family.
Part of Marks' vision, it's bigger than a race team. It's this entertainment component as well. And they partnered with Pitbull.
Such an amazing opportunity to be a part of Trackhouse and the way that we're making history.
We're in a position to take this to a whole nother level. We can utilize racing to bring people together.
Mr. Worldwide out here, Pitbull, you got one of the biggest Latin American superstars to ever walk the planet with the biggest Latin American star driver.
Vamos, amigos.
It's a beautiful relationship.
One day you'd love to come buy a sandwich from my DQ. Do it. You're too far away though. You're in a totally different fucking universe.
But I have never felt me. For some reason, I have never felt home. So now it feels just different. I'm just very, very lucky to have got to this team and want to definitely make the most out of it.
How's your dash?
I love it.
Very good?
Yeah.
How's your headrest?
Pretty good. How it looks?
It looks good right there.
There is a lot of good drivers out there that I have respect for, and they're good. But I work hard to beat them, you know, and I work hard to be better than them.
That red dot is the only thing that exists in your world right now. Don't let it escape you. Nice.
The next gen car is changing everything. The most important part of the next gen car is level things out.
Full focus. Stay with it.
Win races is definitely the #1 goal. I'm just excited that I'm gonna have exactly the same stuff than every single guy out there. I love it, to be honest. I don't feel pressure.
We're gonna go to the simulator Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try some extra stuff there, especially some gear on the back.
Okay.
Try to learn things, maybe to apply to the class.
Now is gonna bring the field way more tight. Right house, we're gonna have a big shot.
about this? Here's a live look at the scene at Darlington Raceway, where track drying efforts are having a huge impact, and we are quickly getting closer and closer to restarting the 200-miler here for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Drivers have been called to their cars. They'll soon be hopping in, and they will be getting ready to resume this race after it was halted just a little bit before halfway. We got through stage 1. Stage 2 was beginning, and then the rains came. Steve, as a crew chief now, you've been watching this. Your car's just been sitting there under a blanket, basically, and you took cover. What happens during these delays?
Well, you're actually trying to talk through what you think your car may need. The track's now been washed off with the rain, and then the jet dryers, the air titans definitely blow most of the rubber that's worked into this very porous asphalt down here in Darlington. So I would imagine the car is going to free up. The challenge in the Xfinity Series versus the Cup Series is with the limited amount of tires. I don't expect anyone's going to pit here near the front. So you're going to go back racing here, get a little bit of a test of your guesswork to see which way your balance has gone. But I've already talked through some of the things you may change on the next pit stop, because even though we're just short of halfway, this race was so short to begin with, you're only going to have, at most, probably 2 more shots to work on your race car.
As a driver, I need to stay focused. I need to go and sit down with Steve and say, hey, look, here's my car's doing, just like he said. Let Steve make a plan for our next pit stop. But as a driver, I need to be thinking about turn 1 on the restart right now. I cannot give up any positions I've made by not being ready. You've got to be ready. You got to be thinking qualifying mode. This racetrack is cool. It's rained on it. The sun's out, but the day is later. So it's a much cooler racetrack. You're going to have to push harder than you have all day.
Jeff, let's talk about track surface, because you've raced here before after a lengthy rain delay. What does it do?
I haven't even seen this race yet, so once we go back green here, that's will be my first time even seeing any of this race.
Yes, it's going to be more grip, and yes, it's going to wear the tires more because of those 2 things. The other thing that Marty mentioned, we were talking off air, is now the sun's setting, and so these drivers, they have to deal with sun in their eyes going down the back straightaway, something that not many Xfinity drivers have had to deal with in the past. We would be putting tape on the inside of the windshield with our experience. I'd be saying, hey, I've been here enough, sun could be a problem, let's be putting some tape on the inside of the windshield to help me with that. But a lot of these guys have never experienced it, they don't even know that potentially could be an issue.
Well, they're going to get you experience here firsthand and just advantage. Noah had this great balance issue going into turn 3. So as a race leader, he should use this opportunity to really sit down with his team. Because I agree with the crew chief. Luke Lambert talked about just a little bit of old tires and more of a balance sensation than an actual brake issue.
So I use Fireflies and Lightning Bugs interchangeably. It just kind of depends. And then Fire Beetle sounds pretty cool. Maybe I'll start using that.
Maybe talk to their teammates.
Then finally, garage sale. You do it out of your garage.
Sensations on your same, trying to come up with a plan of attack, at least if you think there is one that can be accomplished on a pit stop.
Thank you so much for sticking with us today as the track is continuing to be dried here after a lengthy red flag for weather in the area. Marty Snyder, how is pit lane looking down there?
It looks a little damn, Dave. Once they move, the cars are going to have to drive this section of pit road, no doubt about it. Noah Gregson, as you might have seen from that shot, has gone full Tim Richmond. He's got the handlebar mustache. He's got the open chef's shirt here and no undershirt on. So how about that?
Boston up 3 versus Philadelphia. I thought we were playing the Rangers.
You guys spent some time trying to diagnose the brake issue during this rain delay.
Yeah, we're playing the Rangers.
We went back to the hauler and watched them first.
Though we are up 3, though. Speaking of that, let me put this up.
5 times I was just talking to Kyle about it, Larson, and he had it once, but I don't know, I've had it here in the past before. Last year, actually, when we won, lap 39, we were looking back through our notes, lap 39 of the first stage, I said that, and we won, so, I don't know, it just really got to modulate the brake pressure, and they seem to be, like the 17 seemed to be pretty good running the high line through 1 and 2. We were just too loose over in that first stage, so we got to keep up with the track, see how it's going to change here. There's still a little bit of water on it, so might wait to get up to the top side, especially through 3 and 4, but I think we got a good car nonetheless.
We talked about a green racetrack, air titans, jet dryers, everything have been on this track. How's that going to change the race?
Well, it's just going to knock all the rubber.
What's up, Boston? How you doing?
Of the track, you got all the rocks and shells and everything sticking up. Well, when you put laps on the track and you know, the tire, the rubber, it gets in those grooves and those pits in between those rocks, and
it becomes slicker and slicker. So I imagine it's going to be a little tight when we fire off, and then we'll see. We'll see when we get back going, and as the rubber gets laid down, we'll probably free up and get greasy. But really appreciate all the fans for staying out here. Thanks to Johnny Moore.
To put in perspective how loud the Air Titans are when you're right next to it, like you feel your voice vibrating like 10 times more as you talk. Like it's so crazy.
There you go, the Air Titans, courtesy of Darlington Raceway, going right by us here, Parker.
Yeah, Marty, we were actually admiring them here, myself and Sheldon Creed, just admiring them as they went by there, how they were sort of, moving the water around. But Sheldon, how did you spend your rain delay here?
Well, we went back to the trailer, talked about our car a little bit, what we need to be better, and get a game plan for adjustments for our next pit stop to try to go and give these guys in front of us a run for their money.
So just real quick, you got a little damage here on the right. What happened here? You got like this, what is this? Almost like a metallic material on the front end. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they
Bro doesn't know what duct tape is called. Bro doesn't know what duct tape is.
And yeah, just collected whatever debris was on the track. It was kind of tumbling down the track as I was coming by, and I honestly didn't even know it put a hole in it. And then when we came down pit road, saw that we needed to fix that. So lost a few positions fixing it, but was fortunate to get those back. And honestly, really happy with the speed we have. It's kind of nice to actually have some speed and be able to run with these guys finally. So I'm having a lot of fun today. I think we can make the car a little bit better. And yeah, we're just going to try to be there at the end and yeah, try to get a shot at this thing.
Well, Kim, it may be a little bruised, but it still has the speed this 2 car.
Let's talk to Landon Castle. These red flags, some drivers say it's a momentum killer. Others say, no, we get to regroup for our team. So how did you guys spend the red flag?
I think it was a good regroup for our team. We were able to all kind of convene on the pit box and talk about our cars and, figure out what it's going to be like going back. The track's going to be a lot different. Usually when the rubber washes off like this at Darlington, it's as fast as Xfinity internet. So, but really the cooler weather and a lot of grip will get these cars turning and make a lot more speed. That may not be a bad thing for what my car or what I was fighting with.
And looking at the board right now, 17th after starting. I know you had a loose wheel, you had a fortuitous caution. How would you kind of describe what you went through the first half of the race?
The first half of the race, the car was just really tight. And, it's still the way that Darlington works, and what we love about Darlington is even as tight as I was, it still burned the rear tires off it. But it just was way too tight to make time in 3 and 4. I felt like I was pretty good in 1 and 2. But 3 and 4, I need to roll the middle better to make some more speed.
How challenging will it be to work through the 16 cars ahead of you?
It is going to be challenging. I mean, there's a lot of good drivers, a lot of good cars, and I feel like we had good pace inside the top 10, but getting that track position back is challenging. So we've got our work cut out for us.
Marty, we'll see what Landon can do when we go green here shortly.
Well, Kim, so far Christopher Bell has been in the show, started 36. He is up to the 4th position. What did you learn about Darlington coming up through the field?
Yeah, it was just a lot of fun being able to pass cars and run different lines. It was, you don't get to do a 45-lap run very often, even in the Cup side. Typically, you're not going that far on tires, so it was really slick, lots of slipping and sliding, just the way we like it.
How will it change now? I mean, you might get a little bit of an advantage, too, because we're talking about the sunset coming down in turn 3. Normally, that's stuff you guys only have to deal with on the Cup side. These Xfinity drivers don't normally have to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it's going to have a lot of grip in it right now with it being clean. But one thing about Darlington, whenever the sun goes down, you are flying down the back straightaway. So we're definitely going to be struggling to see going on the backstretch at the end of this thing.
So let's talk about you getting the opportunity to run here. How quickly did you raise your hand? I know you've been telling Steve D'Souza, who runs the program here at JGR on the Xfinity side, hey, I want to run all year long. How happy were you to get this shot when Denny said, hey, I'm too hurt from Daytona?
Yeah, it was pretty surprising, honestly. I hadn't heard anything about Denny. And then on Wednesday, Jason Ratcliffe texted me and said, or asked if I was available in the first place. And I said, yeah, I guess I am. And then I heard that Denny wasn't feeling too good. So very thankful to get the opportunity to represent Sport Clips and drive this number 18 Camry and be reunited with Jason again.
And how helpful are laps today to help you tomorrow? Because I know on the Cup side, you start on the outside front row. That car is pretty quick in race trim as well.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with the Yahoo Camry on the Cup side. But you know, in years past with the Gen 6 car, I would say it would be a really big advantage to run the Xfinity race, but even today, going back and forth between the Xfinity car and the Cup car, they feel nothing alike. So I don't really know if there's anything I can take today to apply tomorrow.
Christopher Bell, he's been fun to watch so far, Parker. I believe he's going to be fun once we go back green to watch as well.
Another driver that was a lot of fun to watch early in the race, he was super fast, was Kyle Larson, this 17 car for Hendrick. So what happened with the right rear in that whole episode where you had it go down, the crush pedal come out? Do you think you abused the tire too much early on?
Yeah, it was really loose, and obviously Brian didn't do a good enough job of taking care of it. And it looked corded when they pulled it off, and it was flat. So yeah, destroyed the crush panels, and just wish it could have went another 5 laps and got to the end of that stage. But we're 1 lap down here, and hopefully we can get to lead lap eventually. And I feel like our car will still be good enough to run to the front. So just gotta get it tighter. Been really loose all day, but having a lot of fun too. It's the pace is so slow that I mean, we're working really hard. So I've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun, and just hate that I put ourselves in trouble there, and now we got to work really hard. But I know our car is fast now. We can just get to the lead lap and get it a little bit tighter and more secure. We'll have a good shot.
So you drive so many race cars, you're incredible because you can jump from race car to race car, no problem. But when you jumped in this car, which is the first time you've been on an Xfinity car on an oval this year, I know on the road courses you said it was really close to the Cup car. Is that sort of what caught you out? Maybe like you could go to yacht out with this car and just be comfortable with it compared to the Cup car?
Well, in practice, I never got comfortable. Like, I think I was just loose, but I wasn't. I was just confused with myself of like, well, is the car really loose, or am I just not used to running with yaw again? And once we started the race, I felt way more comfortable. I just was definitely too loose, and made it work for a little while, but was struggling there at the end of that run, and then you had the tire come apart, and yeah, so it's been fun. I just got to get back used to kind of managing it a little differently, because you're definitely more yawed out than the Cup car. The Cup car, you can't be yawed out at all, you're going to spin. So just get used to it, but having fun, like I said.
Speaking of that Cup car, what's your outlook for tomorrow? What are you expecting?
My Cup car felt really good, really good in practice. Thought I would qualify a little bit better, but made a couple mistakes and ended up 7th. So super long race, got plenty of time, but really excited about that race. Really happy with my car, and hopefully get a couple wins for Hendrick here if we can get this one back into lead lap contention.
Okay, that's dangerous for the rest of the crowd there in the Cup Series if he's really happy with his car.
Well, we'll have to wait and see tomorrow, but we got to finish this race today. AJ Allmendinger, when we talked to him earlier during practice and qualifying, you were very frustrated about the car, frustrated about the track, but you're running in the 7th position currently. So how are you feeling now that we're later in the day?
I was frustrated myself too. Don't leave me out of that, Kim. So it's yeah, I mean, we're trying to make the best of it. I thought early in the first run we were making some spots, and then
Ty Gibbs is yawning in the background.
What was going to happen. So we made an adjustment there. Guys did a good job, get a couple of spots. I made some up on the restart. I don't know really how long it'll hold on for, but we're just trying to make the best that we can out of today. It's been definitely a difficult day. This is a racetrack that at times I struggle at, and then we've just missed it trying something new. I think we're all kind of struggling with the same thing, all 3 of us. So yeah, it's we're gonna keep digging here, get all we can.
On the bright side, you're still.
I have not seen Race for the Championship yet, but I want to.
Races left. Are you comfortable with 58 points to the good?
No, I mean it's. I think
we need a fucking Netflix series, bro.
Lose some points. I think it's just trying to minimize how much we lose.
Bro, that official right behind AJ, she is fine, bro. She is beautiful.
We know that the 54 and the
You're gonna officiate my race, baby. Holy shit.
So hopefully we can get out with a top 10.
Yo, look at that official, bro. She is cute. You're gonna officiate my race. Damn. Oh, she's gone.
Who I interviewed during the rain delay, who got absolutely soaked, along with my cameraman Brad Hutton. Did you get a new fire suit? That's the biggest question.
Well, the fire suit, no. But the internals and everything else, yes. I changed everything underneath it because, man, me and you were underneath the monsoon earlier. And honestly, it took my attention away a couple of times because we were getting pretty rained on hard. But man, I'm ready to go back. I think it's getting pretty close here. It's looking really good through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So look at the right side of this thing, man. It's kind of tore up a little bit.
Yeah, when did you get the Darlington stripe? I didn't even know you got the Darlington stripe.
Drivers were called to their cars, but they haven't been like, what's going on?
I think it was somewhere between that stage 1 when I was trying to chase Noah down some. We had gotten into some traffic, and a few of us, I think I had hit it, and the next lap I watched him hit it. So we were just all searching for a little bit of grip and a little bit of turn, but risk versus reward, man. It's still early to be doing this, but I look up through this field and almost everyone has one so far. So it's early, but at least we're not the only ones.
Are those hits sometimes so light that you go, I think I got in the wall. I'm not sure if I got in the wall. Do you not know for sure that you made contact with the wall?
There are very few that have that certain feel. This one, certainly, I knew pretty quick that I needed to get out of the wall because it's almost like sometimes the wall has an effect that grabs the car. It's really difficult to pull it off of it once the wall attaches you to it. So that stuff, it takes a lot of speed out of the car. It takes about 3 or 4 laps to build up another momentum run to go catch the next guy. So it's very frustrating, but it's right where the grip is, you know. So it's trying to find just a little bit to try to be competitive.
Brandon Jones sitting in second, and remember what he said during the rain delay? Feels like he's a little bit better than Noah Gregson, who leads right now when it comes to long run.
Great battle. We get back running here. Another car that was interesting to watch through this first part. What are you covering here, Ross Chastain? You're covering the right side of this car. Why is that?
I got Darlington stripe this morning at like 10 a.m.
First lap on track.
Very first.
Okay, so we'll put that aside. You've been pretty quick in the race, running the top 10. What's this car felt like?
Like an Xfinity car. Big Machine Racing and Patrick Donahue, these guys, they have an awesome race car. It's wild to come back, especially at this track. It slides so much, and we prepped for it, right? We DIL simulated for it. We ran on static rigs. Like, I did everything I could to prepare, and still, when I got out there this morning, I won my confidence, far exceeded the grip level of the tires into turn 3 when I hit the wall. And then even in the race, just the car moving around, Parker, it's wild here. It's more than anywhere else I've felt in a while. And, you know, coming back and forth through the Cup car, it's awesome as a driver. It's so much fun. I hope now we'll get to get the rest of the race in, but this Big Machine Vodka Spike Cooler's car, like, the driver's probably the weakest part. And
well, let's not put you down. I mean, you have a smile on your face. You're obviously having fun. Like, it's for you guys to come here. Yes, you're getting track time, but for a Cup driver to come here in the midst of the playoffs and run an Xfinity race, you have to have fun doing that.
Oh, I mean, as a racer, it's all we want. And I know that Scott wants to be in it. Like, everybody wants to be in this car. So yeah, it's a blast. But there's been points today where I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm appreciative that Trackhouse and Big Machine put me in this thing and give me more reps and get a good night's sleep, come back for the...
How high up can you get, you think?
Oh, me driving, we're 8th place car, I think.
Got it. Well, there you go, Kim. He's an 8th place car, but he's having fun. That's all that matters.
Well, currently in the 8th position on the board is Austin Hill, and he has yet to get a Darlington stripe. And we were talking before we went on, and you said that's because you've been running the bottom. You haven't gotten near the wall. Will that change, especially as the sun sets?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like we fired off really good in our Bennett Transportation Logistics Chevrolet. I felt like we were a little better in the 2-car. Our teammate,
you know the Dan Weldon documentary?
Trying to work him and get underneath him.
I want to watch
he can run the wall really good down in 3 and 4. So I was better than he was in 1 and 2. He was better than me in 3 and 4. And it seemed like for our car, as we ran, we just kept getting freer and freer. I tried to move up a little bit. I never moved up right up against the wall, but I did move up. Seemed to, I don't really think it helped it a whole lot. So here before long, I'll probably get up into the wall, get a Darlington stripe, and but yeah, man, I think we have a pretty good car. I think we need to be a little bit better on the long run, but I feel really good about our short run speed. For whatever reason, though, like on restarts, getting into the restart zone, I'm spinning the tires like every restart. So I got to figure something out. I don't know what it is. I normally don't have that kind of issue. Didn't have that issue back in the spring, so I got something going on. I don't know if I'm just like happy feet and like trying to put the throttle down too hard or what it is, but if we can get that figured out and I can get a good restart, get kind of in line, and we can get some green laps going, I think we're a little bit better than where we're sitting right now.
All right, a little bit better than an 8th. Currently, though, you are on the playoff grid with 3 races to go. What are you guys looking to clean up in these last 3 races?
the biggest thing for us is really our short track program. We need to be better at going into playoffs. We're really strong where we're at on the super speedways and the road courses. And these last two races, we've just had kind of stuff happen that was out of our control. We had an axle break at Watkins Glen, and then the battery came loose, or we lost power, whatever it was that happened at Daytona when we were fighting for the win there. So if we can just clean up just a few little minor details on the short track program and keep everything else rolling like we've been doing, I think we can be really good when we get to the playoffs get started.
Austin Hill currently running the 8th position, but Marty, he says this car is a little bit better than that.
Let's tap into the veteran wisdom of Justin Allgaier. 3 wins in the bank already this season. That sun is setting. I can see it already, Justin. So how different is it going to be for you guys in the Xfinity Series racing in sort of the evening time here?
Yeah, I mean, typically that's the cup race. It's for us, we're usually done and out of here by the time the sun goes down. So I'll be very interested to see how the balance of the cars change. It's not going to be long for that sun to get down kind of even with that outside wall in turn 3 and 4. So really proud of our team. Everybody Junior Motorsports. We've obviously got some really good cars. Our Helmets Camaro's really fast. As we were talking off camera, it's so hard to pass right now, especially when you get to that front couple of cars. The Dirty Airs is really, really big, and the cars are already sliding around a lot. And I think, who manages that the best, but then who makes the best adjustments. Once the sun starts going down, I think the track's going to change a good bit. And we don't really have notes on that, so how you manage that's going to be a big deal. So looking forward to the rest of the race. I'm glad we're going to be able to finish it in the full distance and have some fun.
We also were talking about restarts. What have you learned so far? Because you obviously selected the right lane here in the spring and were able to beat your teammate Noah Gragson.
Yeah, I just mistimed that last restart a little bit and obviously hurt us, but I timed the one before that better than the 19 and was able to get to second. So I think the restarts are going to be a huge pivotal point in today's race. I think that the guy that, if you can get the outside to fire and you can be even with him going through 1 and 2, I think it will prevail. But it's going to be really hard to get that outside to fire. So managing restarts, managing the tires is going to be important, and I think we got the best team to do that. We just got to make it happen.
I know Watkins Glen, not the race that you wanted for the 17. If you take that out, though, you guys have been the most consistent by far. Tell me how you feel 3 races left in the regular season heading into the playoffs about the momentum that you and Jason Burdett have built.
Well, if we could win 3 more races before the playoffs, it'd be great.
Of course, right?
Yeah, right. But just unbelievably consistent this year. And a lot of that stems from the cars. When we leave the shop, we have race cars that are capable of going to the racetrack week in and week out and to go challenge for wins. And I don't feel like we're having to stretch ourselves or put ourselves in bad positions, right? I think sometimes when your car is maybe off a little bit, you put yourself in bad positions trying to make up for it. And that's the difference maker for us. We're just able to go out there, do our own thing, and be consistent and be consistently fast. So, that starts at the shop, the Hendrick engine department, obviously everybody's Chevrolet. Everybody's working their tails off. I know everybody in the field says that, right? But I really feel like our team, we're efficiently working our tails off, and that goes a long way.
Best shot maybe ever for JRM to win a title this year since the Chase Elliott and William Byron days?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think compared to the field, even in those days, we're as comparable or better than they were in those eras. So, we have to execute though. I mean, we could easily put 4 cars in the Final 4 at Phoenix. We can easily have all 4 cars out. So we have to really do our job as an organization. If we do our job, I think we got a great shot at putting 4 in the Final 4.
Right now, the spring Darlington race winner sitting here in 3rd, hoping to beat his teammate once again here, Parker.
And the guy who was the best in the Xfinity Series last year was Daniel Hemrick, the champ. I know you and I have talked throughout this year about being here in college this season, being maybe a little frustrated. Today you were saying that you didn't think the car was quite there, but it looked a little better in the race. Was it better in the race so far?
It's about what I was concerned about following practice. Everyone calling me.
Any chance the race goes under the lights? Probably not.
What not? We got to turn. We were programmed in the right direction.
Sunset here is around like 8.
We know we have a lot of
and I know it's earlier or later there, so probably not.
Super thankful to Matt Cawley and Chris Rice for the way they push this program, the way we try to motivate each and every individual part of it to be better, but we're not there yet. That's why we keep pushing.
Well, you're going to have a very clean racetrack now. Do you think that might play in your favor a little bit, change things up?
It'll definitely change things up, and right now I'm up for about anything. So, but in all reality, yeah, I think it'll be a little different track. We thought right there before the rain came, the track was getting to that point that kind of separates good cars and bad cars for the rubber build up. We'll probably get right back to that point by the end of this thing. So, Big fun. Hopefully the fans are stuck around with us. We have a good time.
Hey, real quickly, just walk here with me, but I want to point out this back bumper of your competitor, Josh Berry.
I love this.
Look at this thing. It says, I will not just the restart, which he did in the spring. But that's really annoying if you're following him.
So obviously we all watch film back, and I know exactly what he's talking about. So Josh rides back up to the field earlier, gets in front of me, and I read that coming to the restart zone, and like I chuckled. I thought that was pretty comical. So hats off those guys.
That's the wild. I just know that would mess with me so bad to be reading that the whole time like in a restart box.
Absolutely. Which hey, moments like this when you're struggling a little bit, you got to find the little things to laugh about. That was one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. I know that would mess me, and I think Daniels agrees that reading that would make me really think about my restart.
Absolutely. Gave me a chuckle to see it. Well, Sam Mayer finished fifth here in the spring. So, Sam, looking at what you have here in this car, what do you have to do to get another top 5 finish?
I'm not going to lie, I have to redo it right there. I think to get another top 5 here, we really have to keep our conversation up. We just
as a circular house, that looks like basically a modernized light.
We're trying to make our way back up to the front, but I think I got something to help out with that. But we got to keep that traction and get up there, and that's what it's going to take.
And you can't hear me because the track dry is going on. We obviously had rain, a green racetrack, so how different will it be when we go green?
Yeah, again, I couldn't hear you, but yeah, I mean, great fight runs are our friends, and I think it's one of the things that's really good. We only have a little bit of the race left, so keep it track boosting, and we'll have a good great fight run. It's really kind of the top 5 here in the spring, so let's see that again.
Well, Dave, if you couldn't tell, I'm having a little trouble hearing down here because we are preparing this racetrack to hopefully go green here shortly.
Sam Mayer, lip reader now. I've got to be careful about that when we're near him, but not too close. And you're right, Kim. The track is nearly ready to go as we get ready for the 80 final laps of the Xfinity Series race today. What's up for tomorrow? Oh, just this little race called the Southern 500. It is historic. It is compelling. You won't want to miss it. That starts at 5 o'clock with countdown to green and ends the night with Race of the Championship, a rendition of our new docu-series on USA. It all starts at 3 on NBC with the NTT IndyCar Series. They've got 2 races left in their championship. Now, speaking of the Southern 500, tomorrow in Stage 2, we're going to give you something that you've seen, heard in the past, that you've enjoyed. You've told us. We're bringing it back again. We're going to have an Earnhardt, a Petty, and a Jarrett calling Stage 2. Nothing more historic than that. DJ and Kyle, I know you guys have been waiting this rain out, but can't wait for the 500 tomorrow and that Stage 2 call.
Yeah, hopefully we get.
Doesn't really sound that cool as it used to be.
Yes, there we go. That's my man.
A couple of weeks in a row, but yeah, entertaining race. I mean,
yes.
Even though Noah has pretty much taken the lead and held those guys off, we can see just how much lap traffic and other things. And the guys have had a first chance to make an adjustment on this. But is that going to be relative now that the track has changed so much?
Yeah, listen, I should ask you that question. You're the guy that's won so many races down here. But I believe that the race we just saw was a race unto itself, but this is going to be totally different. It's just a different race. It's a different time of day. It's a different time of racetrack than these guys have been on. They've all had the opportunity to go back to the truck and watch that first segment and see what their cars are doing and visualize and talk to their crew chiefs and say, this is what my car's doing here, this is what... It was fascinating.
As drivers are getting in their cars.
Too, to hear the Cup drivers say, man, these things are hard to drive. These things are really hard to drive. You know, I didn't think it was going to be this way, is what Kyle Larson said. I thought we had done this. You heard Ross Chastain said, we went through all this simulation, but it's nothing like the simulation. So I just think it's going to be a different race.
Yeah, that's highly entertaining coming from some of the guys that are in the playoffs in the Cup Series and how difficult these are to drive. So it will be interesting. I think if you were wearing right rear tires like the 17 was, you could get a lot of wear. You got to keep an eye on that. But I think Parker caught up with one of the drivers having a really good day here today, Parker.
Right, DJ, that is Kyle Weatherman for Jesse Iwuji Motorsports. One of the best run today, up into the top 10. How good is this race car right now? Man, this thing's good. I'm glad the weather held off here, but no, I'm excited for it. We rode up to 8th there, first stage. We've got an amazing E-Racing Association car. If you guys are not on iRacing, check out this league. It's absolutely awesome. I actually did a race here earlier this week with the guys there, but no, just absolutely awesome day so far. Hopefully the rain holds off here. We can finish it off and see what we had at the end.
I'm
want to let you get in the car because I think they're rushing you in. The officials, like, real quickly, team owner Jesse Muji right next to him. Man, I saw how pumped up you were when that thing got in the top 10. How cool is it to see this car run up front?
No, I mean, Colin's doing an amazing job in our E-Racing number 34 Chevrolet today. I mean, today, you know, he went from 16 to the top 10. He was running inside there, fighting, battling, and just to see where our team has come from the beginning of the year until now has been awesome. And today, we're paying tribute to Wendell Scott, everything he's done for the sport to help diversify the sport. I mean, he was a pioneer. We have this amazing paint scheme on the car now, and all our partners this year, EPM, Equity Prime Mortgage, Chevrolet, Coca-Cola, all these folks who have really helped push this journey through. It's just been epic. And really, this year has been about staying strong enough, long enough.
It's really cool to see. Congratulations on the great one.
Thank you, thank you.
Guys, I just love seeing this small team have success like we're seeing here at Darlington. So cool at a throwback racetrack to see a team like this get that speed.
And Parker, we mentioned it before, and guys, thank you for all those interviews down there. Kim Kuhn, Marty Snyder, Parker Kligerman, giving us all of the insight from the drivers before they climb back in their cars to resume the race. But the throwback paint schemes, there's a handful of them here, even though this isn't the throwback weekend. Darlington's such a throwback place. We talked about the history, Jeff. It's just great to see the teams participating in that way again.
Yeah, like some of the teams have decided to do it, and you know, we talk about this racetrack all the time and how difficult it is and all the history and heritage at this track, and you know, all that's cool, but now these guys have got to adapt to what this track is now. They knew what it was. Now the rains come, wash the rubber off, track's cooler than it was, sun's setting. They've got a different animal to deal with, and who made the right adjustments? Who could see this coming? Looking at radar, who made those changes? And I think Steve had a good point earlier too. Like, who could possibly pit here? Who might not pit here? I think there's some options for some people to do something different that might help them if they get the right kind of race to convert for them. Be interested to see what happens.
Steve, 80 laps to go. The final stage will begin somewhere inside of 57, 56 laps to go. Generally speaking, what do teams have left for tires? What are your options?
Well, everyone started with 4 in the pits. The leaders should all have 3 sets left. That's why I was thinking maybe somebody might pit here to get track position, because put a set on at the end of the stage for sure. Then you have 2 to run the last 50 laps. We haven't seen a ton of cautions. You know, it wouldn't be something that someone up front would do. You look at somebody in the middle, like we got Sam Mayer back at 14, right? Landon Castle had the loose wheel back at 17. If you got to put tires on right here, you will drive to the front. You'll get your track position back. Now you'd be upside down a set of tires, but at some point you have to ask. We were discussing Kyle Larson.
When the race starts in an hour.
He's sitting a lap down. You know, does he think he's good enough to just race up and get the free pass at the end of this stage? That would be the question mark. We don't know how much damage is on that race car. We can see a little, but we don't know what it's driving like. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's going to be an exciting 80 laps.
A team like Ryan Sieg, who's trying to race themselves into the playoffs, could they right now come in, put a set of tires on, try to drive up through the field, get some points, right? They don't have the pace to just flat out beat the 2 car that they're racing for in that position. Could they put tires on and just drive up and try to get some stage points here? Would that be a gamble that somebody like that would be willing to make? I mean, it's a gamble, but if you just look at speed over the next 3 races, I don't think that they have the speed to beat Creed. Maybe they look at something different and try to get some points some other way.
Do you have the speed to beat Creed? Ryan Sieg, 43 to the good over Creed, 43 below the cut line. That's entering today. Meanwhile, you see the sun setting over turn 4. And tomorrow night, they'll be already racing the Southern 500, Marty. For these Xfinity drivers, it's a little bit different. They don't usually race this time of day. What have they been doing to try to combat that?
Well, Dave, I am actually, yes, you see how bad that sunset is, and it's going to be a big factor going into 3. Jeff can talk more about that as a driver. Certainly something the Cup drivers are used to since they start in the day here at Darlington and go into the evening in the lights here at this racetrack. But I'm surprised more teams did not ask to put a piece of tape on their windshield. A few did. Christopher Bell just did. He's also wearing a completely black visor on his car. That's his Cup Series helmet, so he had that earlier today. But you can see some of these cars up front. Kyle Larson doesn't have it. I asked him, I said, would you want a piece of tape? He's like, I don't think I could put it on. And then they were told they could. He goes, I'm fine, don't worry about it. So Steve, I'm sure as a crew chief, you would have been asking, hey, can I add that piece of tape, which in essence acts like a visor in your passenger car, kind of to block the sun for the driver going into turn 3.
There's a good example right there of the tape on that window. And there's a little bit of blackout, but none added extra in the windshield of Kyle Larson. So It's interesting, right? Because the sun's setting and setting close. If we look over into turn 3, you kind of see the shadow line, and that's really the issue more than anything. Is as you go down the backstretch, you're in the sun, you drive off into shadows, and your eyes kind of have to adjust to it, right? So it's very close. You see all the way at the end of the straightaway there, kind of driving off into the dark.
Final few moments of track drying, Jeff. At this point, you can see some of the track drying equipment up by the wall. You see them in different spots around the track. Not everything is perfect yet. What is NASCAR and Track Services, what are they getting at now with these final few things?
Well, I think what's happened is the rain has gotten between the safer barrier, right? There's 2 walls right there. The safer barrier's on the outside. You got the concrete wall on the inside. This is pit road. I think that water has gotten inside of that, and now it's draining out. And so they keep going in there, trying to pick that wall up, get that water to drain out of there, but then they've got to dry it. And so appears to me that most of the track is dry, but that is what they're doing.
That a little part of the track doesn't matter. No one's racing down there.
We see this so much, like, just a little water.
I almost wonder if there's a drain or something here that's not draining the way they need it to. Because the wall, the concrete wall, right, that's on pit road side. So why would it be going through the concrete wall is the question. So you see they're trying to, oh no, look at this.
That's what you do with a big puddle and you're a fan. And you got a kid. Not too far, young man. Okay, yeah, that's enough.
Oh, let him go.
The fans have been waiting this out with us. A lot of them have stuck around. We appreciate that. We thank you all for hanging with us here on USA Network. Noah Gragson currently leads this race as they will get back to racing here very soon. Marty, what's the plan in the 9th camp?
Well, Dave, that's an interesting point with the water inside the wall. Jeff will tell you that's where all the speed is, right up by the wall here in Darlington, and that's where Noah Gragson really finds his money at this racetrack, getting as close to the wall as he can. But if you heard what he was saying in my interview with him a moment ago, he said, I'm going to back off that for a little while. I'm going to give it like 20, 30 laps. So make sure that's dry up there by the wall. I know it's probably going to hurt my lap time and my optimum speed just a little bit, but that's taken away a little bit of Noah Gragson's line. Now, NASCAR looks like they've done a terrific job with the outside wall and water being between the safer barrier and the wall, but that Noah Gragson's point is, hey, I'm going to back off that for just a little bit till I know it's completely dry.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I was going to say, what is that, 1 lap?
Yeah.
2?
Too tempting not to take the
tell one guy who's faster than you?
He said 20. Let's do an over-under.
Under by a mile, not even close.
I don't even know if he knows how to get around here and out of the wall.
Oh, that's what's happening right now. Guess what's happened so far today? Well, let's take a look at it. Let's look back at how the day started with our Northern Tool and Equipment race recap. On the pole, the yellow 19. He took the early lead, but Noah Gragson, we mentioned, got around him for the lead after that.
Yeah, that was a mysterious issue with the 17. We're not sure if he cut a right rear or wore the right rear out. You see, it is worn out. We're not sure which happened first, but got a couple laps down, and then Noah went on to win stage 1.
Then this bizarre incident on the backstretch. We've since heard reports, those who talked to Alfredo after this, that he might have been a little bit sick inside the race car, so we'll see if we can follow up on that. Then this was the one that caused so much chaos right near our red flag. Took Riley Herbst out of the race in the 98 car.
Yeah, the 98 had just had a speed penalty. That's why he was back there. Riley very disappointed with himself, and then the weather moved.
Got a lot of rain in a short period of time, and see a lot of drying has taken place, and this is the issue at the moment, trying to get the water to dry in between the safer barrier and the concrete wall. Most of this work is going on the front straightaway, on the wall that separates pit road from the racetrack.
It's been about a 2.5-hour delay. During that time, Kim, I understand that you had a chance to catch up with Anthony Alfredo, who is now out of the race.
That's right, Dave, and you mentioned that bizarre incident, so I asked him what had happened and confirmed he was sick inside the race car. Now, he didn't thankfully share many details. What he did say is, I don't know how Noah Gragson does it. Noah has thrown up multiple times in the race car, so use your inducting reasoning there to figure out what happened. But Anthony did offer his apology to John Hunter and his team for unfortunately putting him in that circumstance.
Now, Kim, thanks. And Alfredo was one of those drivers who can still make the playoffs with a strong run. and maybe just with the 2 races to go, or 3 including this one, but 2 remaining in his season, he's 14th and needs a win to get in. And she mentions Noah Gragson. Noah has that upset stomach issue even sometimes when he wins.
Yeah, I've never understood that. I've seen a lot of race celebrations with that. That's creative, I'll say the least.
There's Noah's car. He will lead the field back to green, and that will be coming up very, very soon. Now, track drying almost complete at historic Darlington Raceway.
We used to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I will need to live.
Wait, did you say Verizon for just $30?
It's their best unlimited price ever.
$30? That's awesome. Yeah, and it's from the most reliable 5G network in America.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
Yeah, it's easy. And you get $960 when you switch the whole family.
Oh, wow. I gotta let my buddies know.
We're already here.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
Instead of rushing to work for someone else, you're free to freelance from wherever you feel free. That's right. Oh, she's going for it. LegalZoom. Now you're in business.
It's back, America. Applebee's all-you-can-eat boneless wings, just $12.99.
One day you might realize going to grandma's doesn't count as vacation. But this sure does. When you're with Amex, it's never a question of if vacation will actually feel like vacation. It's when.
Just sold my car with Cargers.
Yeah, you did.
And you instantly got the best, most competitive offer from our network of thousands of dealers.
So you're selling the car but keeping the button. You sell the broom too?
Car Gurus.
Get the best offer for your car.
Streaming now, only on Peacock. The most epic family movie with never-before-seen footage.
Everybody hold on to somebody.
Jurassic World Dominion, the extended version.
Is that a dinosaur on your shoulder?
Yeah. Streaming now, only on Peacock.
It's the Xfinity Series, and when you get that winning feeling, there is nothing like it. And certainly, if you could have that winning feeling at the Darlington Raceway, you would put one on the shelf that you would remember for a long, long time. This racetrack was NASCAR's first super speedway. They ran their first race in 1950. 72 years later, it still does not disappoint for great racing, whether it's the Xfinity Series or tomorrow's Southern 500, one of the crown jewels of the NASCAR Cup Series. Just a few items left here to take care of on pit road and around inside the walls here. You see the vacuum truck taking water out from underneath there so it doesn't seep out onto the pit lane. 67 of 147 have been completed, and that is literally how the leaderboard looks.
Let's see if we can dial up Ty again, see what he's doing. Hey, guys up in the booth, you got us?
Hey, gentlemen, how are you?
Well, we're good up here. How you doing down there?
Well, right now, I'm just hanging out, looking at this beautiful sunset. Luckily, I got my sun visor on, so it doesn't bother me as much.
What are you thinking the racetrack's going to do after you guys go green?
I don't really know. It's going to be, we have our cars full. I mean, we're setting them up to go opposite where the track goes rubber and it's getting hotter. Now the track is completely reset and green. So we'll see how the track state affects these cars, but you guys probably have a fun time watching.
Oh, we always have fun up here.
You're 6th right now. What do you need to do to your car to get a little bit better to battle for this win?
Just need to get in a better restart line, honestly. Just need to get up there and go. I feel like we've lost some good track position, so we'll be good. I gotta fire up and go race. You guys have fun up there.
Fired up, man. That's the best words we've heard in a long time. Good luck.
Thank you to Ty Gibbs, the 19-year-old with 5 wins on the season. And in a couple of weeks, we'll start the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs, hoping to be champion for 2022. If you're just joining us, we've had a chance to get to know him through the Dale Jr. download earlier today. And as always, you can catch that on Peacock if you want to learn more about young Ty Gibbs and his journey to this point in his racing career. Checking in with Justin Allgaier, currently scored in 3rd. Here's a little communication from him and his team.
Now they're pouring speed dry in there. That's awesome.
Why they just put a cover on top of it?
Because they can't inspect the foam, and they're afraid that if the wall moves enough, it'll slice the car.
Alright, there you go.
Yeah, I asked a question. There's a lot more logic to it, science to it, but that was the clip notes.
Thank you, Justin Allgaier and spotter Eddie DeHunt. Did you learn something there?
Yeah, I mean, NASCAR has no choice but to do it the right way. I mean, you just can't shortcut it and cannot start this race. They stopped the race preemptively before the rain came, right? They saw it coming, it did rain. You can't then back it up with a poor decision just to go green, right? Just to get you back on green. You got to have everything right.
Well, when you look at the radar, we're in no rush. I mean, the skies are clear. Nothing looks like it's heading this way. I mean, look, it's crystal clear radar. So at this point, you just mentioned it. Oh, tomorrow's race would have started 35 minutes ago, and it's 500 miles. So I think a little 80-lap shootout's not a big problem.
And the shootout, to that point, it is going to be an entirely different race. The track has changed. Who knows what the setups in the cars feel like now.
All right, red flag has been lifted.
The first half of the race, definitely all Noah Gragson and Brandon Jones. What will the second half be like as the pace car pulls away?
After 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Very, very close. Red flag's been lifted. Back under caution as we get ready to restart the race at Darlington.
I was interested. Noah thought the track would go tight. I thought the opposite. I thought the clean racetrack would gain front grip and the cars would be even looser, but we'll have to see. This is one that we don't get to see green very often. So.
All right, I don't know what's up with the scoreboard.
More experience transitioning into a cooler condition than Noah does. So I think my experience also is early in my career, because you just could push harder. But later in my career, for some reason, it changed, and it would always go free as the track tempo come down.
Yeah, I'll know in my notebook for the Southern 500, if you were loose in the first 100 laps,
I'll be back.
Take big swings. Because when the sun went down, it normally just turned better and better and better. So
what just went down was a 2 hour and 37-minute delay. We had a cell roll through here and dump a lot of water on this racetrack. Final little touches being made right now to make sure the racing is safe and also the activity on pit road can be safe for these drivers and teams.
You know, we sure on the racetrack a lot, but I'll tell you, looking out the window here, Jeff, you said it. You know, the fans have returned, right? It was a great crowd. They had a shower that kind of drove them out of the stands, but they have come back and they are ready to see some racing.
Drivers now getting their first look at the sun down the back straightaway. How bad is it? What is it I can or can't see? You see right there, now they're into the shade. There you go. That's it. It's a perfect view. That is what they're looking at.
John Hunter Nemechek carrying our helmet cam today. Quick little block there from the tower.
Yeah, those
right
towers.
back into it.
Yeah, those towers are exactly what you need, and it's once you get to the corner, it's okay. But you know, leaving turn 2 is where the problem is, and all the way down the back straightaway. So if something starts happening down the back, it's very difficult to understand and see what's going on.
Our crew on pit road has been active all afternoon. We appreciate them. Let's check in with them I won't say one more time, Parker, because we don't know. We could be going a few more laps here, but what you got going on?
Well, and you just add on to that about the sun into turn 3. One of the things that does is because you start plotting your line way earlier than when that sun goes away. So you have, especially if you run the top, you almost have to guess or get in a rhythm of knowing the timing into that corner. It makes it incredibly tough. But one thing it does do is open up the bottom, and that is something that Christopher Bell in this 18 car used to his advantage, starting the back of this field through the first portions of this race. He told me, you know, I didn't run the top in 3 and 4 because everyone was running there. So I went to the bottom, and it was working. It's where I could make my passes, have clean air. So I asked, okay, what do you do now that you're up front? He goes, well, I hope they all go up to the top and leave me the bottom. That would be great. So obviously his car is working down there, and he's excited to get this race restarted because he hasn't been able to see how he stacks up against those leaders, Kim. But I think from seeing the speed he's had come through the field, it's going to be pretty close.
Well, Justin Allgaier there in that 7, looking to sweep the Darlington race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this season. His crew chief, Jason Burnett, told me before the race this is a rhythm racetrack. So as long as they are able to find that rhythm, they should be good. Well, one thing that can keep a driver from finding a rhythm here at Darlington, wheel hopping. Before the red flag, Justin had been complaining he was wheel hopping, specifically in turn 3. Now, despite that, he still had been battling up front, has some of the fastest lap times. We'll see what he has for the second half of this race. He currently runs in that 3rd position, and he seemed pretty confident when he talked to you under the red flag, Marty.
Boy, Kim, an interesting fork in the road here for Sheldon Creed and Jeff Stankiewicz. They sit in the 5th position. There's 21 to go here in stage 2, and they are the first team out of the playoffs right now, minus 24 below the cut line. So, Steve, what would you do here? You're going to get a restart with about 18 to go or so. Pit road open next time. This could be a game changer for their season. Put on new tires here. Who knows? Maybe you could win the stage. Those 10 points would go a long way, maybe, for Sheldon Creed. We'll see what they do next time by.
You know, I think the key for Sheldon Creed is I don't think he has to push. I think they actually have the upper hand, even though they're behind the 39 of Ryan Segan points. You said it, Jeff. They've shown enough speed to do it. I don't know if they need to gamble. I think it's Ryan Sieg's team, who's currently sitting 12th, that needs to decide if they can come try to counteract this move by scoring some points, because I think Sheldon Creed is fast enough to score 5 or 6 stage points right here. And I wouldn't give up a set of tires yet on the 2 car.
Very close to going back to green. In fact, we plan to do that when we come back from break.
With handcrafted steak, burgers, and chicken sandwiches, there's a perfect plate for everyone. Great value for all your favorites, only from iHub. Download the app and earn free food with every order.
T-Mobile has 5G here, and we also cover you up here. Yup. Get free Wi-Fi now with streaming all flight long. We do coverage differently, with expanded high-speed data across the world. So you're connected here, and here? Not yet. But down here you're covered with a year of AAA roadside assistance on us. On the ground, in the air, overseas, T-Mobile has coverage beyond the expected.
Do you think they need to bring them to us on like a fancy tray, like thinking like a platter? We need a maitre d'.
Yes, Joffrey, I'll take another, please. Sonic Chop House Cheeseburger. Heavy on the Chop House, please. An aioli.
Take a spin with Nikki Bella and NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt Jr.
All right, Nick, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That felt unreal.
Catch all the action of NASCAR on USA.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
She's hungry. He's hungry. They're hungry. That's why at Purdue, we're always hungry for better tasting chicken. So we use all vegetarian feed and no antibiotics ever. Because when chicken is raised right, it tastes like nothing else in this world. Purdue, hungry for better chicken.
Then nothing to eat. Hold on, I can do something.
Turning nothing into something.
Turning nothing into something. It's amazing what you can do with nothing and a little heaviness.
Back at Darlington Raceway, giving you an idea of what to expect tomorrow. It starts at 3 on NBC with the NTT IndyCar Series finishing up their season, 2 to go there. And then it continues here at Darlington Raceway, 5 o'clock for countdown to green. And then the Southern 500, the first race of the 2022 playoffs for the Cup Series. Talked about the sun. Jeremy Clements has an idea of what to do.
It shows you how big of an issue it is. I mean, you know, they're riding around here 50 miles per hour, and he's trying to shade that to understand what the cars in front of him are doing. It's something the Cup guys are going to deal with tomorrow night.
Similar, AJ Allmendinger.
And, you know, tape helps some, but it doesn't make the problem go away. You can't tape it down far enough to get it to where it doesn't create a problem.
We showed you before the helmet cam of John Hunter Nemechek. There it is again, what he sees when he's going down the backstretch toward turn 3.
So watch what happens, right? So Parker had a great point. Like you have to see where you're going to help set the corner up. So right now, you know, he's entering the corner. I mean, this is way past his lift point before he can see it. And I mean, he was way down in the corner before he got where he could clearly see the corner. So that's the problem. And then off of turn 2, you know, the exit of turn 2 is one of the fastest, tightest, most difficult corners in racing, and you're just not going to have the visibility that you would normally have.
Noah Gragson leads this race. Let's listen in on his radio communication.
Do you need anything special or anything that you can think of, you know, getting into there? Or can you see, like, all your lines good and everything?
No, I'll be all right. About 10, 15 more minutes. When it's behind that, it'll be better.
And that is the truth. Sun is going down. It is going to improve.
Well, it's going to improve, but hopefully we drop the green before that long.
Yeah. Makes the first few laps a little bit sketchy. You can see we've gotten to the halfway point now, under caution here, since the motor's been fired and the car's been following the pace car. 17 laps remaining in stage 2. And then an opportunity to pit if we don't get one before that. And then the final stage listed at 57. It'll be a few laps less than that for the drivers to bring it home.
As a crew chief, if I'm out a front car, I'm frustrated we're losing laps here. I mean, if we weren't ready, let's just sit on pit road and wait. You know, I don't think it's a halfway point anymore. We're not racing weather. We're not doing anything. Like, if we're gonna race, let's sit on pit road because I want as many laps as I can to kind of make it back. And now, if I'm Gregson, Jones, or Algar, I'm loving this. Let's go ahead. You know, less chance of this going sideways for me, but
it takes away an opportunity for somebody, say in 15th place, right, to come in now, put tires on, and drive up to the field to get stage points because the laps are just clicking away, and it's going to take a certain amount of laps. Now, doing this is making sense of strategies for some people.
Bailey Curry cruised by on the outside there in the number 4 Hy-Vee Chevrolet. He is the free pass car, so he'll get one lap back there and rejoin the field. There's Jeff Burton cruising along, Burton running in 18th position.
And that puts Kyle Larson, the first car, currently one lap down. We'll see if 16 laps stay in that position. That would cycle into the
Looking around the track just from the bird's eye view, I don't see any more safety equipment, Jeff. Do you?
Well, they're on the entrance to pit road, but it looks like they're heading home now.
It's a great sign. Great sign indeed. All right, let's head back to pit road. Kim?
Well, Ryan Sieg currently sits in the last playoff position, 43 points to the good. And when I talked to him this morning, he was realistic about their chances of winning. He said, we don't think we have a winning race car, but we can certainly pad our points position with what we have. He didn't qualify where he wanted. He overdrove the car, starting in the 25th position, said it was just too loose. In fact, wrecking loose. They made some changes for the race, and his goal was to be top 10 by the end of stage 2. He currently runs in that 12th position, so needs to jump just a couple more spots to meet that goal. So we'll see if he can achieve that here in the next 16 laps, Parker.
Well, Kim, back in 14th place is Sam Merritt in that one car. You see the pits are open. Most people choose not to pit here, but basically he and I had a conversation before the race. He was unsure about this race car. It felt like it was a little loose in practice, but they'd make adjustments on it. He knew, though,
having a loose race car here because of what he experienced in the spring would not be the best thing to have. Well, unfortunately, throughout this race, they've been very loose in that one car, and hoping it maybe comes to him. He's just had to protect that right rear, Marty, which is so tough to do around here because even when you're protecting it, it still continues to wear and wear, and sometimes you just fall behind it, and that's where the one car is right now.
Yeah, Parker, kind of surprised more teams didn't take advantage of pit road being open there. One of them could have been Landon Castle, sitting in 17th just now. Let's go back to when the rains came and the caution actually came before the rain. That was their opportunity to come down pit road. They had a loose wheel. They were able to get that tightened up. Remember, he's just a couple of spots above the cut line here in the playoffs. That could have been a huge penalty had they stayed green, but got the caution at the right time, sitting in 17th. They have top 10 speed, and you heard him in his interview with Kim earlier saying, hey, it's hard to make passes. I've got to be careful working my way back through the field.
Castle does not have a win on the season. He is in on points right now for the playoffs, so significant story there from Marty. By the way, Kyle Sieg, David Starr, and Bailey Curry were the three that took to pit road, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tire conservation. The fear is, you know, with limited sets, you have to have it for that final stage in case the yellows come out.
Haven't talked much about the choose today, Steve. You want to re-explain that for folks that may not understand what we're doing?
So as we come to one to go, the lead lap cars can decide whether they want to put on the top or the bottom, whether they want to restart. So we see right there's the V. That's kind of what signifies you're there. The orange box behind it is the key. You can't touch that box. If you do that, it's a penalty. Which I don't know why we couldn't have come up with this earlier. Once we come up with the gem, I was like, oh, that's such a easy idea. What a great idea, because you know, double fire restarts have added a tremendous amount of excitement for the fans. But I remember Mark Martin, when we talked about these, he brought up Indianapolis right away. He's like, if I started the outside of Indy, I'm going to lose 5 spots. And he was right. This choose is kind of got rid of that. Now, if you want to start on the outside, go ahead.
That's a great example of this. You know, when it first came out, you and I were like, I don't know about that. It sounded silly. And then we watched the race. We're like, hey, that's a good thing. And it just shows you how the sport is always changing.
Went from we've never done it that way to, hey, this isn't half bad.
Yeah, that's not how we do it.
So you can see Noah Gragson has chosen that inside line to his outside, Brandon Jones. That's how they started the race, by the way. Brandon was a pole sitter. He got to choose the outside to begin the race.
It is, and remember AJ, I'm sorry, Algar said that the key to these restarts is getting a great launch. He said if the outside lane can launch as well as the inside lane, once you get to the corner,
here we go.
It's an advantage that outside lane, but
we haven't been green for 3 hours, and we're about to go back green.
Accelerate first. Joe's got to be ready and anticipate.
2.5-hour rain delay. Darlington Raceway back in race shape. The green flag is redisplayed. 70 laps to go to the checkers. See the struggle there is with the backstretch and the sunset. No struggle for Noah Gragson. He retakes the lead. His teammate, Justin Allgaier, right in tow. Brandon Jones back to third, now being challenged for that spot by Christopher Bell on the inside of the white Toyota.
They're getting really tight right here on the exit of the corner. They're driving down into turn 3 again, both trying to get their visibility. Bell's going to try to drive into the corner deeper. He's able to hold the bottom. Made that look pretty easy.
Christopher Bell, Cup Series driver, who started at the rear of the field earlier today after having to have an engine change in that race car, now up to third.
The 7 car has definitely found a little bit of pace. Whatever the rain did to the racetrack definitely seems to suit the 7 at the moment. He is pressing this 9 car with only 11 to go in the stage.
Noah said he wasn't going to run the wall because he was afraid it would still be wet up there. But this is not where Noah's been running all day. He's been running the wall, and he's going to have to change the way he drives. You have to drive completely different off the wall than you do when you're on it.
In 10 laps, a green and white checkered flag will be displayed to indicate the end of stage 2. There will be a playoff point awarded to the winner of that stage. That playoff point carries you as far as you go into the playoffs, so it's valuable.
It's a 9's going to keep giving the top to the 7. And one of these times, I'm just waiting for Allgaier to. Oh, you saw the backfire out the pipes. He had to burp the throttle there on exit. I was getting ready to say, if he keeps giving him the top at 3 and 4, I'm just waiting for the 7 to go down there and roll the top as we see a battle between the 54 and the 2 from a lap ago.
Little contact there. Ty Gibbs and Sheldon Creed, they get away with it for the moment.
And Creed's running in 6th.
Meanwhile, here off of turn 4, Allgaier with a nose forward. Can he get his teammate going into turn 1? Looks like he may.
Yeah, I think Noah Wise is going to just concede at that point, give the 7 the lane to come up. He's going to try to cross him over. But Justin's seen that move before. Didn't carry too much speed through the middle, protected the bottom. That was a really, really good set of driving. See the old thank you out the window, hand out the window from the 7 to the 9. He realizes what the 9 did, and now, okay, now that 9 said enough, I'm going to move up a lane.
Justin Allgaier has won 2 of the last 3 Darlington Xfinity Series races. He's won 3 times this year already. More contact for Ty Gibbs, this time with the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger. Just trying to clear himself there.
Wow, and Allmendinger in the wall. A.J. will not be happy with that.
No, but so Jeff, you know what the etiquette is there, or you've done this before. Like in my mind, that 16, I know he had a fender there. At Mo Track, that would be outside. But here at Darlington, I think the 54, it's safe to say, thought he was going to be clear. We'll see how the 16 approaches it at this time.
AJ,
now the 54 might want to get the spot back at this point.
AJ not thinking about etiquette right here. Listen to the 16 radio.
Hey, dude, you get run into.
Okay, so I like AJ, but this is not one of his better racetracks, and I believe that's kind of why. That's Darlington. I know you had a fender there, but man, just let the 54 up. I don't think there's reason to get that frustrated at this point in the race.
Well, that's because you and I we came from a generation where you never raced through there side by side, but these guys do. Like, the rules have changed, and they don't think it's unusual to race through there side by side. And AJ's like, man, you ran me in the wall. But what we did learn is that Mad AJ's fast. Like, he was able to go up there and get Ty Gibbs, was able to pass him, and now you're going to see AJ fighting hard to keep Ty from getting back underneath him.
Reclaimed 7th position. That kick Gibbs back to 8th. Josh Berry, the black number 8 car, he's right there in 9.
All right, the 9 has gone to the top in 3 and 4, and it has worked. The last 2 laps much faster than the 7. You see he's gotten all the way back to his rear bumper. So here he is underneath the 7, looking for the clean air. I don't know if he can get the pass done here. Now let's see what happens in 3 and 4. Does the 7 go up and take the lane away? Does he continue to run the bottom?
He's got to go to the top. We talked about it. Noah loves the top. There he goes. Going to take it away from him. Noah's really good on the top here. Make Noah go where he's not comfortable.
That was great defensive driving by the 7. The last lap, I thought the 9 was to his outside. He wasn't. And now with just 3 laps to go in the stage, these 2 junior motorsports cars are going to try to battle for the stage win. And Christopher Bell is inching his way in, saying, you guys get side by side and I'll steal this stage win.
Track position is so important, even in these Xfinity cars. Dirty that air up for the car following you.
Caution.
Oh, the car on fire.
Oh boy, get out of that. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out, get out, get out, get out.
I looked up in the middle of 3 and 4.
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
There's a fire underneath the hood.
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
For quite a bit of time.
There you go.
Damage.
Yaley out of the car, thankfully.
Man, that great battle is going to finish this stage under yellow, but that just gives us just a little taste of what we're going to see at the end of this final stage.
And that's what I was wondering, Steve. Even though he might not need to use it right now, did Gregson learn something running that low line to restart this race?
I just think he knows, yeah, it's not as good as the top. Because when he goes to the top, he's just way, way, way faster.
I'll buy that. And our safety team giving the thumbs up over there that Yaley has conversed with them and told them he's okay.
Look at me.
See if we can get a look at Yaley's situation.
The engine, oh wow, most likely an engine failure. Oil on the exhaust pipes really starts a fire. I noticed when we went back green, this car wouldn't fire, and they had to push him down pit
What's
road.
the dog doing?
And it took a while. They ultimately, obviously, did get refired, but something happened to this car prior to going green.
And what this will do, as we've talked, look at the fire. That's what caught my attention out the window. Jeff, take me in there, right? So it's obvious we see the fire. Is it all smoke? Is it just vision here? I mean, at what point? I mean, you know you're on fire, but at what point are you thinking about needing to get out, or you assume this fire is going to go out when you stop moving?
Yeah, you see right there, JJ's getting the window net down, he's preparing himself to get out of the race car. It's very hard to see. You have no idea where you are, and that's your biggest concern, right? Like, where am I going to stop where I know I can get out of this car quickly and not be in danger? You got fire in the car, which clearly is a danger, but there's other cars on the track too, and you're not able to see what's going on around you. You can see the oil behind, the trail of oil right there, and the NASCAR is putting oil dry down on the racetrack. So just like we thought, Steve, it's just something happened to the engine, put oil in the exhaust pipes, and that's what was on fire.
Steve, you mentioned it. Final lap of stage 2. And they're now rolling to a green-white checkered along with the yellow. Looks like AJ found Ty Gibbs. Got him back. Oh, wow.
That's like big.
And they will finish the stage.
All right, so Justin Allgaier is going to win stage 2.
In 9th. Meanwhile, Justin
Allgaier wins stage 2.
Teammate Noah Gregson has won stage 2. That's the 7th time he's won a stage this season.
So in that point battle, to try to win the last spot, Sheldon Creed, he finished 6th, and 39 of Sieg finished 15th, so no points for Sieg.
No stage points. Out of the stage points. Stage 2 done. Sun setting at Darlington. Final stage coming up.
Here's to those with homework this summer, group projects, and workshops. Here's to those with morning meetings, networking events, and Zoom sessions. Here's to those with summer jobs and the truck that goes to work with them. Ram, built to serve.
Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no monthly payments for 90 days on the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn.
It's back, America. Applebee's all-you-can-eat boneless wings, just $12.99.
Beautiful day in Baltimore, where most people will probably know that Geico could save their money on car insurance, right? You see, the thing is, Geico could help them save on boat insurance too. Fine. Okay, I'm ready to come in now. Hello?
I'm trying my best.
Serious now, I'm serious. Request to come ashore.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
There are those of us who burn our calluses. We choose raw materials over ready-made. It takes a special kind of person to build their world from scratch. They have a special set of tools. Northern Tools are problem solvers' paradise. There's nothing we can't find, fix, or figure out together. We're made for this. Start solving your projects today at northerntool.com.
Pain used to keep me from what I love most. Not anymore. Blue Emu gave me my horsepower back. It's the powerful relief my joints need.
Blue Emu, it works fast and you won't stink.
The night race. It's as American as Uncle Sam deadlifting 350 while drinking a Busch Light outside his camper in a national park. It's as American as Earnhardt rattling Terry's cage. It's the Best Pro Shops night race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's a cutoff race in the NASCAR playoffs. You remember what happened last year, right? Be there September 17th. Go to BristolMotorspeedway.com and get your tickets before they're gone.
It's Bristol, baby!
NASCAR on USA is brought to you by Northern Tool and Equipment. Start solving your projects today at northerntool.com. We're made for this. And by Sport Clips Haircuts, the pros in men's hair. The official app of NASCAR Tracks lets you stay up to date on the latest race and event information from all of your favorite tracks. Search NASCAR Tracks in the App Store, download for free, and start using it today. Be a good thing to use for the Southern 500 tomorrow. Our countdown to green starts at 5 on USA Network, and it will go into the night. One of the crown jewels on the NASCAR Cup Series, the Southern 500. We mentioned Sheldon Creed getting some stage points, Ryan Sieg not so much. As we look at the points that have been earned today, here they are. You see Creed down there with 11. Well done.
It's really important. Sheldon and his team, they've been clawing away at this point deficit, but lately they've not been able to finish some races. And it looks like they have the speed, but they've got to capitalize. Like, there's only, after this race, there's only 2 left in the regular season. They've got to take this advantage in car today and finish it off.
Sheldon very, very good here at Darlington Raceway in a truck. Twice last year won, swept the year in trucks. So he's got an affinity for this place. Just been finding himself in the Xfinity car this year.
It's all now. It took a while, and now he and his crew chief, Jeff Stankovic, they both came up together from the Truck Series. They raced together in ARCA. They know each other. They trust each other. It just took a little while, Steve, for those guys collectively to figure out the feel that Sheldon was looking for, but I certainly feel like they got it now.
Yeah, I think it's a risk-versus reward, right? So the risk of bringing the crew chief that you have worked with together, up together, is they're both rookies in Xfinity, you know, the car, what they need to do to it. Now, the reward, as you know, or the safe bet, as you know, they work well together, they communicate well. So this is a gamble that's starting to pay off. Now, I believe RCR thought they would be in the playoffs. I think they're not in the position they want to be. And I believe this 2 cars, are going to get themselves in the next 2 weeks.
Working well together are our men on the Peacock Pit Box, Kyle Petty and Dale Jarrett. Hey, guys.
Listen, it looks like we're going from rain to a dust storm now. They put down so much stuff. But as we went back to green there, those guys were confident the track was dry, and we saw some good, solid racing there.
Yeah, it sure did, and I like Noah's approach there, that he didn't push the issue of going up and seeing what that top lane was like too soon. Yes. But once he got past, now he got a little impatient. Not surprised at that either. This is going to be interesting to see adjustments that are made and what happens on the restart. This could determine, who our winner is if you can get out front there early.
Yeah, we heard, I think it was Kyle Larson, a couple of those guys were talking about it. We talked about pit stops being pivotal. This is the pit stop. This is the track position. We heard these guys talk about it, guys.
Pit road is open, and yes, this time we are definitely going to have everyone taking advantage of this situation. Kim?
And stage 2 winner Justin Allgaier said he's tight across the center, still free in and off. Said he's lacking overall grip. Spotter Eddie DeHaan said how's visibility? He said still horrendous with that glare. The plan is to take 4 tires to no fuel, Parker.
And Kim, they reminded Christopher Bell that he's going to the 18 pit board there and not the 20 like he does in Cup. It's 4 Goodyear tires, Snoco fuel for him, and he felt like his car was only getting better and he was catching the leaders, Marty.
Parker, head-to-head battle between the Junior Motorsports pit crews. Allgaier's already left the stall. Noah Gregson said, hey, we're good in 3 and 4, but too tight in 1 and 2. I can't use the throttle like I would like in 1 and 2. They went up on the track bar, a little tape on the grill as well. And Austin Hill actually wins the race off pit road, and a little drag race there between Allgaier and Gregson. Almost a dead heat leaving pit road.
Fantastic pit stop by the Richard Childress Racing crew for Austin Hill.
I was asking myself what happened to the 7, thinking he was losing spots, and it turns out what happened is that the 21 was unbelievable and just gained 4. I didn't see that. As you leave your pit box, you kind of get that reference. I was like, man, 21, he was 4 spots back. The 7 must have had a slow stop.
Damn right, boy.
Yeah.
Big winner there, and a big loser was Christopher Bell. He lost 6 spots.
Yeah, great for the 21 of Austin Hill. And remember, it was interesting. We're being told now that it is Tyler Reddick's Cup pit crew that pits that race car, so a nice bonus for them for tomorrow.
Well, if I'm Tyler Reddick, I'm high-fiving myself in my motorhome right now. Like, I got those guys
go tomorrow. But it's such an advantage. I mean, it's such, you cannot over-exaggerate how important pit crews are. And you know, they're like special teams. Like, you don't notice them until it doesn't work, right? You expect them to do good pit stops. You expect that's going to happen. When a team picks up that many spots, I mean, that is a huge deal.
Congrats to them. You raises a question for me. When Austin Hill during the break says in one of the interviews, I've been spinning my tires on the restarts all day. Now he leads the field back to green. Has he overcome that?
Well, being the leader will be the best opportunity to not, because you get to control the pace. So the guy who should spin the tires the least should be the leader. He should absolutely be able to roll in there whatever pace matches his car, and he knows when he's going to go. Versus the guy in section is reactionary. You kind of jump on the gas trying to catch him. If he spins his tires the leader, then I'd be talking to my crew chief about something different in my race car. I mean, something's not working.
Well, and the other thing is, some of those restarts, restart from over time. These are stickers. Now, sticker tires, you should, and this is Darlington, so you can spin your tires anywhere, but it becomes much more difficult to spin your tires on stickers versus scuds.
The weather has moved away. It is a beautiful evening in Darlington, South Carolina. And a lot of the crowd is stuck around to see who will win this afternoon's race, scheduled for 200 miles, 147 laps. There is a possibility of overtime, I'm just saying.
Well, I will say this. As a crew chief, I have anxiety already because with 52 laps to go, 25 cars on the lead lap. So, you know, everyone has tires, as we see the guys choose here at the front. So you can definitely come to pit road a couple times if you have to. But with 25 cars on the lead lap, man, if you just pick it wrong and if you stay out or you think it's the right time to put tires on, I mean, they can fall apart in a hurry. Normally we see 15 or 18 cars in that, but this race has kind of been broken up with weather and a few yellows.
The other thing that's always difficult to see is you don't know if you're going to get a long run or a short run. If this thing goes all the way to the end and you bust off right here as hard as you can, you're going to regret that. But if you get short runs and you don't take off as hard as you can, you give a spot up or don't take a spot that you could have, you're going to regret that. It's a difficult position for a driver to be in, Marty.
So looking at maybe 2 more stops. Was there a problem coming down pit road for Noah Gregson? Listen.
I don't have any second gear pit road lights. I don't know if you can retry it here and see if it's intermittent and come back while you're rolling around under caution.
So Jeff, they're going to have to go old school coming down pit road, base it off the tack. He has lost all of his lights on his dash and tell him, hey, they're used to saying, hey, 3 green lights, 1 red light, whatever it might be for Noah Gregson. He's going to have to base it off the tachometer only when he comes back down pit road.
Lights are really important. You can still make it work, but when you're talking about getting beat out of the pits by half a second or something, then that could be a deficit.
Austin Hill, the rookie, the white car on the right-hand side of the screen. He is the control car.
All right, back green. 51 laps to go.
There he goes. Doesn't spin the tires. But
50 laps to go. Sorry.
Turn 1 on the outside. Allgaier wants it.
He's in trouble. Allgaier got a great start. Look at the advantage he's going to have on the outside.
And now his teammate, Hill's teammate, Green, to the outside. He'll try to take second.
That is a beautiful shot.
The start that Austin Hill was looking for. You said it, Steve, having trouble spinning his tires.
Is this
accelerate as hard as he needed to because he was concerned about that.
And the 9 did a really nice job. Oh, man, the 2 gets to the outside, the 7. I didn't see that at all. What a move.
Great momentum by Sheldon Creed.
Sheldon, let's fucking go.
Oil dry still on the racetrack. Wonder if it was a little bit slick and they went through there conservative and Creed wasn't conservative.
Everybody but Sheldon.
You see her. Allgaier still falling back a little bit. Yeah, he just does not have roll speed right there early getting in the corner. Everybody can drive in the corner and carry speed deeper than he can.
I was going to mention this. The 9 of Gregson did a really good job through 1 and 2 on the start of kind of squeezing the 16 up and gave himself a holder. He was going to lose some spots on the bottom. How about right behind the 9? The 26 of John Hunter Nemechek. This is the car that was run into by Anthony Alfredo under yellow on board with John Hunter Nemechek with Toyota on board. What a great job and a great drive by John Hunter here.
Red Sox win.
I love to listen to the throttle here. So much work. Listen to this end.
sun has now almost set in turn 3.
90. It's like the 7 checked up so much he almost caught the 9 off guard.
Yeah, Allgaier cannot be happy with that race car right now. Restarted second on the outside of the front row, went to the lead, and now it's back to fourth.
Remember in practice, he said they had tons of takeoff speed, but he was concerned about how it was going to drive later in the race, and they made some changes, knowing it would hurt it for taking off, but hoping it would make it better on a long run.
On the bottom, Kyle Larson received the free pass onto the last yellow, had to start tail of the field. He's now passing for the 21st position, so recovering. 46 to go. I think he's going to need at least a yellow or two to bunch them all back up to get back in position to have a chance, but picking and choosing his spots wisely here.
One thing that concerned me, Steve, when we showed a shot of him on pit road earlier, they had that right rear off. The whole inner fender well was still out of that car.
Kills the aerodynamics. I know you wouldn't think it does, but if that's allowing air to get up into the deck lid and underneath the car, it's definitely not helping the downforce.
And these drivers may not see the caution flag again. They will not need to stop for fuel. They'd love to put fresh tires on, but they're not going to put under green to do it.
No. Tomorrow we're going to see some real unique strategies under green because the race is so much longer. But here in the Xfinity Series, the only time they're going to come on pit road is under caution. What? I just can't get over it. RCR 1-2. At the beginning of the day, we talked about favorites. I didn't have RCR on my list. Shame on me. Here they are, first and second. The one leading is the one that needs that win to make the playoffs. Marty, this 2-car outside looking in, currently leading, looking good.
What a restart for Sheldon Creed. 43 laps to go at Darlington, leading right now with only 2 more shots after today to make it into the playoffs. They know this is one of Sheldon's best racetracks, and they knew they had to take advantage today. They have shown speed, but the problem is all that speed has been on the front end of the run. This is the concern. Can he keep that going right now and stay out front? A lot of teams behind him saying, hey, let the RCR guys burn it off. Let them run hard here at the beginning. We'll catch them the longer we run. And Parker, when he took the lead, Richard Childers came on the radio and said one thing.
Attaboy. Of course, but as we watch these two run 1-1-2 for RCR, one of the amazing things was a conversation I had with Austin Hill earlier today, and I said, are you two pretty similar, being the 21 and the 2 car? And he said, no, actually, we're very different. We've been showing up for the last couple of weeks with very different setups because I cannot drive what Sheldon drives, and he doesn't like to drive what I drive. And we figured that out by this point in the season, and that's the way we're going. And when you see these 2 cars at this point, after this rain, as we go into the nighttime, both light up, that's pretty impressive for RCR to have vastly different setups and 2 drivers that drive vastly different, to have them both up front running 1-2.
Parker, can they do it? With 41 laps to go and the field thinking they can catch him? We'll find out together from Darlington.
In the future, everything will be powered by renewable energy. But it's not as easy as flipping a switch. It's a long road, requiring decades of time and trillions of dollars. But what if there was a better direction on the path to zero carbon emissions? An energy source that's available right now, that's affordable, plentiful, and environmentally friendly. There it is, and it's propane. Get the facts at propane.com/now.
When safe drivers save up to 30% on their auto insurance for not answering their phone while driving, they feel like a pretty big deal.
Steve, did you get the ice?
Even if they forgot the ice. Save up to 30% on auto insurance with USAA Safe Pilot. Get a quote today.
Cracked windshield? Don't wait. Go to safelight.com. You can schedule service in just a few clicks. It's so easy. And more customers today are relying on their car's advanced safety features, like automatic emergency braking and lane departure warning. That's why our recalibration service is state-of-the-art. We recalibrate your vehicle's camera, so you can still count on those safety features. All right, we're all finished.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Don't wait. Schedule now.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
to go places. There's a reputation on the track, being built this very minute. One that embraces the crazy, the fast, and the unpredictable. It looks into the eye of the competition and screams, "Bring it!" loud enough so the whole world will see it coming. I am the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I am NASCAR.
This is NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from Darlington, the Sport Clips VFW Help a Hero 200. And it is winding down this time by for leader Sheldon Creed. He will make it 35 to go. With things changing, the 21 of Austin Hill, his teammate, has just been passed by Noah Gragson, who is moving fast now, just under a second, just over a second behind Creed for the lead.
I think the 7 is better than the 21 here. The 21 looks really loose. The 7 is just trying to find a way to kind of get turned down the hill and get a run on him. You see he drives right up to him. That's a better corner. Entered a lane lower. That was a good corner for the 7 car. Will he work out? Yeah, I think it will. I think it'll happen right here.
The last time somebody got underneath Hill, he conceded the spot into 1. He did it again. That was what you were talking about earlier. That's traditional Darlington racing. Somebody gets underneath you into 1. It's why is it they're better than you to give them the spot? I think Hill is just so loose right now.
Ty Gibbs joining this battle now in the 54, third in line here.
Now our guy's got to get going here. He fell behind. That exchange cost him about a second to his teammate Noah Gragson. Noah is a little quicker, I think, than Creed. With only 33 laps to go, things happen quickly.
Oh, Ty Gibbs nearly loses it in turn 2. Sorry, Steve.
No, yeah, I was seeing the same thing. I was getting ready to say it's going to be interesting to see if Sheldon Creed out there at the lead can kind of manage those tires, or if Gragson and Allgaier has enough to run them down.
The RCR cars, I don't think have been as good on the long run today. And right there, Noah took almost 2/10 out of that lead.
And it's so hard if you're Sheldon because, you know, if you get up there too close, you don't want to hit the wall and give them the spot, right? So it's just hard.
But the most speed at this racetrack is getting up high in 3 and 4, right, Jeff?
That's right.
Do it. Christopher Bell now showing the nose of that red and white Toyota. Bell running in 6th.
What Bell's having to do, everybody's just all against the wall. What Bell's having to do is just run the bottom. But you see right there, Noah Gragson, fastest on the racetrack, another 10th and a half off of Creed.
My telestrator does not like me today.
What are you pointing out here, Steve?
Just what Jeff said. Speeds at the line. Creed, the 3rd best of the front 3 cars.
Both junior motorsports cars faster than Sheldon. Here's Austin Hill in the white 21. Christopher Bell in the red and white 18. Bell's going to get that spot.
Bell's got a fast race car. They just, whatever happened on pit road there, lost some spots.
Clawing his way back toward the front. That 18 car has run every race this year with different drivers, so Bell, even though he's not eligible for the championship here in the Xfinity Series, the team is for the Owners' Championship. See Christopher taking that very low line through 3 and 4. Okay, with 29 laps to go from Darlington Raceway, let's go through the field, starting with Marty.
Sheldon Creed staring at a playoff berth if he can hold off Noah Gragson. A little under a second right now. This 2 team has had this race circled since the first weekend of May. They know that this is one of Sheldon's best racetracks, but they only lasted a few laps in the May race. He missed a shift coming to the start of the race. The engine blew up almost immediately. Their hope to win at Darlington, gone. Today, though, 28 to go. Their hope is here if they can hold off Noah Gragson. Gragson trying to track him down. He said the car's just a little bit too free. Luke Lambert reassured him, listen, that will come to us. The handling will get a lot better. They love the tracks heading into the playoff. Noah Gragson trying to get another Darlington win, Kim.
And Justin Allgaier there in the 3rd position. He had a good restart, but then fell back a bit. Now he seemed to stabilized, has regained his spot. He told his team the car was starting to come to him. They felt like they made good changes for the long run. We'll find out in 27 laps. Eddie the Honda spotter also reminding him to race the racetrack. Marty?
Ty Gibbs sitting in fourth, having an impressive run at a track where he has struggled at admittedly in the past. He said, we've had speed here, but I made mistakes on pit road. I've had some issues as well, not being able to finish the race. We just want to get it into a good spot to have a nice top 5 day.
Gina, you're a
they have that
dumbass.
right now, sitting in fourth, and also last few laps. Fastest car on the track has been Ty Gibbs, Parker.
Right, Marty, his teammate Christopher Bell there. Think about his week in terms of the Xfinity Series. On Wednesday, he gets the text from Jason Radcliffe that Denny Hamlin is going to step out of this car. He said that was an exciting moment. He gets here for first practice, has a misshift, has to change an engine, starts at the rear of the field, drives all the way up to the top 3, and then they had that bad pit stop just before this, and now he had to work his way back through the field. And you noted, Jeff, that he's been using the bottom. He told me on the red flag that's how he made all of his ground at the start of this race, is where the car is working best, and simply because he had the clean air. And then, as you look back here, Austin Hill, who continues to fall back and now fall behind, AJ Allmendinger obviously restarted at the front here, but what he's been fighting in that race car has been consistent through the day here, which is a tight underlanding and then loose from the center off, and that's a really hard thing around here in Darlington, especially on a longer run like this. Just does not have the handle on that race car, guys.
Austin Hill right behind him, running in the 7th position.
These two up here keep trading lap times. The 2 will put a great lap up and then either catch traffic or just not hit the line exactly like he wants. We'll see right here this lap. The 9 a little better. And down this end, Jeff, is the 2. I mean, I'm going to call this the bottom for 1 and 2. I know it looks like the middle of the racetrack, but that's lower than I was expecting.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick. That's what he does here. He runs the bottom. He's able to make that work.
I would say that's a good guy to follow or figure out. He's pretty successful here. 9, though, when he hits the top right, he gains on this 2 car.
What's the first one to get into the wall is the question. Somebody will.
Noah Gregson tracking down
I want to go to
Reed.
Darlington so bad.
Meet Zach. His work-life balance is
Darlington's like my type of racetrack. It's one of my favorites.
He becomes Zen Zach. Zen Zach exists outside of time. His heartbeat sounds like a melon from circle.
It's cool, right?
The only notification he hears is the sound of the ocean. So if you want to reach him, talk to the ocean.
The ocean.
And Zen Zach rides with Geico because saving money and getting great coverage is totally chill. Geico, savings and service for both your sides.
It's back, America. Applebee's all-you-can-eat boneless wings, just $12.99.
There are those of us who burn our calluses. We choose raw materials over ready-made. It takes a special kind of person to build their world from scratch. And a special set of tools. Northern Tools are problem solvers' paradise. There's nothing we can't find, fix, or figure out together. We're made for this. Start solving your projects today at northerntool.com.
This is supersonic Wi-Fi from Xfinity. It's fast. So gaming with your niece has never felt more intense. Hey, what does this button do?
No, don't!
Welcome to the fastest internet on the largest gig speed network.
Are you crying, Uncle Ed?
Oh, Brandon Jones is around. Caution is out with 20 laps to go.
The all-new 2 for $5 menu at Sonic. Choose a Fritos chili cheese wrap, small jumbo popcorn chicken, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. Just $5. The 2 for $5 menu. Only at Sonic or in the
Under caution at the Sport Clips VFW Help a Hero 200 here at Darlington Raceway for the spin of Brandon Jones from 9th place. His Toyota swapped ends, and with 19 laps to go, this one is far from over. Don't forget tomorrow, start with IndyCar at 3 o'clock on NBC, and and then right back here at Darlington to set up the Southern 500. That'll be 5 o'clock on USA Network.
Down 3 and 4, Jeff. We're 31 laps on these tires right here. Gets into the top. Man just loses the back. Does a nice job kind of, I guess, jumping on the gas and driving it off the wall.
And he's really loose on corner entry. And see right there, Steve, you said it well. He just stood on the gas. Look at that A car.
Josh Berry
did a really good job.
We heard from Josh during the rain delay. They want to make his car better. He's doing a nice job. He's inside the top 10. Look at this shot back. What a wow! Great job out of 19. I know spinning out's never what we're looking for, but that could have easily been right rear damage, knocked the deck lid off.
Well, still came out there at 17th.
Yeah,
he lost some spots for sure, but could have been a lot worse.
And now, welcome to Darlington. There's no strategy, no nothing. The only thing right now is you're hoping just to have a nice, solid start.
Wait, you say they're coming?
Absolutely.
Every team should have a set of tires available to them. And a fresh set of Goodyears at Darlington, nothing like it, Jeff.
And if you're a crew member, this is what you're hoping for. You want the opportunity to give your driver a chance to win this race. And how do you do that? You have a pit stop, the best one of the year. That's what you're hoping for right now.
We saw it last time. Austin Hill's crew picking 4 positions up on the last pit stop. Can they do it again? Hill currently runs in 7th position.
And Steve, you said it just a minute ago between you and I, is now's the time for that 7-car of Allgaier. They need to be talking about, okay, when we took off the last time, it was no good. What are we going to do different? You're only going to have about a 15, 14 lap run. So it's no more long runs. You just got to have a dash, and you got to treat this lap like it's qualifying.
But you can't, the adjustments, hopefully air pressure, because I also can't handicap my pit crew and be expecting them to crank in that rear window and then say, oh, but I also need a good pit stop. You got to give them a chance to succeed.
Here they all come. Final stop of the day. Will it be Kim Kuhn?
And Justin Allgaier will pit from the 3rd position. He told his team, guys, I am too tight to take off, but then I lose the back end as I run. He makes a stop right in front of his crew. It's going to be 4 tires, Sunoco fuel. They did make an air pressure adjustment, and as you see, that chassis adjustment too right there, Marty.
Noah Gregson said the car started too tight, stayed tight the entire run. Luke Lambert's going to make a big air pressure adjustment here, also a track bar adjustment. Think about Sheldon Creed's pit crew. They won with Austin Dillon trying to win their way into the Xfinity Series playoffs this week here with Sheldon Creed at Darlington. Said the car was just a little bit too tight. They did not wait on fuel.
Sheldon wins the race off pit road.
They'll come out with Creed out front, and right behind them will be Noah Gregson.
What a time to have a great pit stop. Sheldon Creed did not lose any positions. Neither did Noah Gregson. Here's the look at the line.
See that 54 and then the 16 right here.
Creed's already gone.
Yeah.
There he is.
54 is in the picture now. He fired off pretty good the last time. Now this is the point where I love to choose. Because now, you know, it used to be you just lined up in the lane and hope the lane win. Jeff and I were talking about, all right, how are we going to start ranking some of those cup guys heading into the playoffs? And we talk about restart. Well, what defines a restart? Everybody thinks it's, you know, shifting gears and going to 1 and 2. But Jeff, you and I agree it really starts with the choose, because that's up to the driver whether he gains positions or whether he stays in the preferred lane, where he wants to start the race.
That's right. The spotter has been paying attention all day. What's been working, what hasn't been working. The driver understands what his car will do and will not do. And you got to pick the lane that's best for you. And that may be different than is for everybody else. You just got to make your best choice. I tell you somebody else, guys, AJ Allmendinger all day long has complained about his car. I'm not good here. My car's not good here. And there he is in 4th. He's got a shot.
Well, the 54 is right in front of them. They've already had a little bit of a busy day between the two of them.
Could be interesting. The leader of the race, Sheldon Creed, has never won in this series. This second-place car, Noah Gregson, has 8 career victories. Behind him, the 54 of Ty Gibbs has already won 6 times in the Xfinity Series. Let's check in on Noah Gregson's team and their communication.
All right, we got this. We can make this happen. Just be aware. Sheldon will do whatever it takes, so we know. Yeah, copy.
That's good coaching. Hey, Sheldon needs a win. Sheldon's trying to make the playoffs. Luke Lambert here. You know, that's not like a threat. Don't take the wrong way. Let me explain what is on the line for the 2-car. So if it's a coin flip, don't assume you're getting the break or getting an inch. He's perhaps going to take the inch he needs and maybe a couple of the inches.
Marshall went up to P8 somehow. I feel like he's going to make a run. I don't think he's going to win, but I feel like he's going to make a run for the front.
He needs to make up some ground.
Here on this final, or maybe final restart.
He's been very successful at this racetrack. It's been a struggle. They've started to figure it out. He can see a lot of good things in his future right here if he can finish this thing off.
Which lane do you think, Jim?
Oh, I'm going to the bottom.
Oh, Sheldon Creed does the top.
Army, I like the top, but all day long it just seems like, I don't know, that's just a hard thing for me.
Look at Kyle Larson's driven all the way up to row 4. Between a pit stop, the green flag, he's going to be right there with Bell and Allmendinger. So I like the bottom out of the zone. And I like the bottom because the middle of 1 and 2, I know I'm going to make the corner. And I know that's an awful thing to say, but when it gets super, super tight there, I think you can kind of squeeze that top guy to question if he's going to make it right here, this exit of the corner.
It just seems like if the leaders have the bottom, he can get better momentum entering turn 1. If you go there through there side by side, I want the top. But as a leader, I want to control that launch.
Marty, how about Sheldon Creed?
Yeah, real quick, Luke Lambert reminded Noah Gragson once again, he will be rough, he'll be willing to be rough, talking about Sheldon Creed. And just think about Jeff Stankiewicz here. He's been telling his driver, the short runs have favored us all evening long. 15 to go right here. Darlington, a 2-time truck winner. Sheldon Creed is here. Can Darlington come through once again and put him in the playoffs here at the end of the regular season? It's to this play stage. Let's see if he can pull it off.
A 2-sided race, an early race, a 2.5-hour rain delay. Now the final 14 laps coming up here. Sheldon Creed.
Green flag.
The red and white number 2. What kind of a launch will he get? It's not bad, but Gregson's look very, very good.
And that bottom has been good launches all day long. Noah's got to drive it in here. Nobody's going to lift right here. They're going to come off turn 2 side by side and wide open in the gas.
Sheldon Creed inches forward. He has a 2-car in the lead.
Right there.
What will Gregson do with that low line? He used it to start this final stage. Now he's got to think about what's happening back here, Jeff. 2 wide by 3.
Yeah, AJ was doing all he could to block Gibbs on the outside. Couldn't do it. Now Noah's trying to figure out how to make this work. Noah's like the top all day long, and Sheldon Creed is taking that from him.
Boy, it is tight from third on back. AJ to third. Here comes Kyle Larson.
Good run through 3 and 4 for the 9. He's on the rear bumper of the 2. So hard in this corner, though, to follow his tire tracks. He looks a little lower, tries to keep some air on that left front fender. The 2's going to do a nice job to really seal the exit off. Sparks fly. You can just fastest laps of the race right here. These guys are running qualifying laps.
Oh, yeah. See right here, Sheldon Creed's doing exactly what he needs to do. Run that high line. Noah loves it. Take it away from him. Make him pass you on the bottom.
Third has cleared just a little bit. AJ Allmendinger has that spot, but the lead hotly contested now with 11 laps to go.
And what makes this track so difficult is, 10 laps at a normal track, not a lot of tire fall off. You can be very repetitive with your inputs. Not here. Every single corner, the car is losing grip. So what worked last time, you have to continue to back the corner up.
Kyle Larson slips by Allmendinger for third.
11 to go. Does he have time to get in the mix? He knows how much Mr. Hendrick wants this paint scheme. This number specifically, the 17 car. He wants to get that scheme back in victory lane.
Larson now trying to track down the front 2. Leader Creed, his team, Richard Childress Racing, they've never won here in the Xfinity Series. Hard to believe, but Creed trying to get in that first victory.
This is what we talk about, why Darlington is so difficult. You've got to be pushing right here. You've got to be getting all you can. But if you try a little bit too hard, you're going to hit the wall. There's no doubt about it. So This is what's so difficult for Creed. Noah's a little bit quicker, so Creed...
You haven't watched the first 20 laps what's happened? I didn't watch until after the rain delay. I got home at 4, and that's like right when the rain delay started, so I didn't see anything up until the rain delay, but we saw a fire from JJ Yaley, Brandon Jones spun, and that's about it. Oh, Ty Gibbs and AJ Allmendinger had some fucking... They weren't happy.
What Sheldon has to do right here is honestly is not look in the mirror. Just don't pay attention to it. Just run your line. See Noah with a big run right here.
Come on, Sheldon.
Caught him at the wrong spot, though, and Larson takes another 2.5 tenths off the lead. Only 7 tenths back.
Come on, Sheldon. Oh boy, this is gonna be a 3-car race here for the win.
All on the bottom. What Noah's got to try to do, he's got to try to get himself in a situation where he's got forward momentum on Sheldon coming off turn 2. Trying to get forward momentum, get underneath him, and then side job him. Just drive the car way down in the corner, trying to slide on him.
Gotta hold him off here, Sheldon.
Right now, unless he can get to that rear bumper and pull the air off the 2 cars.
Comes Kyle Larson in the picture, and you can see from our graphic on the lower left the potential for what could happen in the final laps here at the end of today's race. First, second, and third, all together.
Now Noah has to worry about behind and front. Now strictly offense has turned into offense and defense.
Great point, Steve. Now, Noah has not had to look in his mirror. We just talked about that with the 2 of Creed. But now he's got to, because if he makes a move and it isn't right, and that guy right there, the Cup champion, he'll take that spot away.
I'm waiting to see who blinks first, who tries a completely different line. I love the 17 and the 9. Both turn low on exit. Good run on corner exit.
Come on, Sheldon.
This is what you're talking about, right, Jeff? If he pops out of line, it's full commitment at that point.
Yeah, it's got to happen here, though. He's got to be able to have forward momentum. Let's see the 2 on the bottom, the 9 on the outside. Now Noah needs a good run on corner exit. You saw the car move around, got loose. That really hurt Noah's speed.
And here comes Kyle Larson. Took advantage of that. Can only get up to the back bumper.
Kyle doesn't take the run to the bottom. I thought he would. What a race.
Oh, run right here. Big run.
Oh no! Oh no! No, Sheldon! No, Sheldon! 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 No! Ah! Jesus, guys!
These cars are so hard to drive right now, and Sheldon Creed kept the lead through that run.
Yeah, Sheldon's weakness is the exit of turn 4. That's his weakness. And then in 1 and 2, if he runs that low with Larson on the outside, don't do that, because this guy right here...
No! No! Sheldon!
Larson could not quite get there, but there's a little contact off the corner.
Yeah, but Larson got contact. Respected him and lifted and let Creed get his momentum back.
Creed retains the lead, coming to 2 to go here. What can Larson mount?
But Larson now saw what Creed is willing to do. Kyle Larson is the champ of the Cup Series. He knows what he's trying to do here, and now I think he has a...
Come on, Sheldon!
Kyle Larson in the blue and white 17. He's going for a win.
No!
Sheldon Creed is going
no!
Playoffs with a win here. Looking at the low side. Larson can't do it.
This will be big momentum for that 9 car.
We're getting a 4th car in here. AJ's kind of hanging back there. But I don't think it'll be enough.
Coming to the
white flag.
Sheldon Creed still has the lead. 1 left to go.
No! No, Sheldon! No! 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 Ah! No! No! Jesus! Oh no! Oh my God! Oh, here comes Noah! No, Sheldon! No! No! Sheldon! Yeah! Oh my God! Oh my God! No way! That is one of the greatest finishes I have ever seen. I don't even care, man. Sheldon, though, bro. What did you do? That was one of the best fucking finishes I've seen in my entire life. Jesus, Sheldon. Are they pissed, or are they just gonna?
But Noah Gregson can't believe how that
I've heard this expression before, but literally the grandstands are shaking. I mean, this booth is moving.
Noah Gregson, the 24-year-old from Las Vegas, 4th win this season. He was already comfortably in the playoffs, but another 5 playoff points for him. He gets to celebrate at the track too tough to tame. Guys, that is the 6th last lap pass in the Xfinity Series in 2022. Amazing.
Between the 2 and the 17.
Man.
Sound of victory for Noah Gregson. The crowd.
That was well worth the 2.5-hour rain delay. I would go through 10 2.5-hour rain delays to get a finish like that. That's literally one of the greatest finishes I've ever seen in my 12 years of watching NASCAR.
Good racing between Sheldon Creed and Kyle Larson. They knew they had a shot. It was a good three-way battle right there.
Luke Lambert said Sheldon Creed was going to do whatever it took, and he tried all he could. Kyle Larson, I thought, gave back a respectable amount of pushing and shoving as the champ in the Xfinity Series, tried not to overrun the Xfinity regulars. I thought he didn't initiate any of it. And then Noah right here went down into 3 and said, wonderful, you guys are going to be up with the fence. You called it the video game move, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, he was in the fence. I mean, it was like a lot going on down there.
Allmendinger was back there in 3rd. I don't know if he thought maybe they're going to come all the way back to me. Maybe I'm going to get by.
Larson got 5th after that.
Mitchell will have to climb in the fence. So evil throwback. Team helmet for Noah. That's a good match for Noah.
That is an A+ helmet. A+. And the fans came back after the rain, and they are rowdy. I like it. This is a great crowd.
Man, don't forget how important this is to Noah's crew chief, Luke Lambert. Luke Lambert won races in the Xfinity Series, got a shot to go Cup racing, didn't have quite the success, came back to the Xfinity Series with Noah, Junior Motorsports, winning races again, and now people are like, hey, that guy's a really good chief. And there'll be some opportunities at the Cup level for him, I'm sure.
Great hire by Kelly, Dale, and
Second straight win at this race. We won Darlington last year.
All right, now, easy on the celebration. We know the signature. We're not ready for all that.
Turn your heads.
We're going to leave that in the hands of Parker Kligerman. Hey, Parker.
Hey, guys, what a celebration down here. Noah, real quick, I think you might have heard this car a little bit. There's all over the place here. That's a heck of a burnout. You climbed the fence, but talk to me about those last couple of laps. What were you thinking? What were you going through your mind? What lines did you know to choose there when you were watching those two battle it out?
Damn. I'm worn out. That was badass. The 17 was coming on there strong, and the 2 is good. Just
Were you just watching them, letting them race it out? Was that what's going through your mind there? Just let them play it out for you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might have to need some water.
Making a tradition out of this.
Yeah, I think get him some water.
Obviously left a lot on the racetrack here, guys, for Noah Gregson. That battle between...
Someone get him some water, Jesus. Get him fucking water!
Dave, we'll give him a minute here.
Yeah, absolutely, Parker. That is one wore-out winner right there. And for those of you who weren't with us earlier, Noah Gregson...
Bro, is he gonna faint? Like, get him some water. Jesus.
Like this. We'll see if he can make it to the Ruach
There you go.
victory lane without an incident. That is indeed where he is heading. And Marty, we know Sheldon Creed was awfully close to hitting there himself today.
Yeah, poor Sheldon Creed, one lap from the playoffs, kind of staring straight at it, watching a replay right there.
That was so fun.
He raced you hard. He also raced you fair. Walk me through your view of those final few laps.
Well, I was just trying to hold on. Had a really fast car, just was a little too free to run their speed there at the end. They could run up the hill in 1 and 2 and really get a good run down the back stretch where I would have to stay really low to keep the rear of the car underneath me. And I was hoping they were going to get the racing behind me and kind of let me go there. And when Kyle got next to me here, my only opportunity was to go and side draft as hard as I could. And we got in the wall there, and I felt like the right front go down there, going down the back stretch. And
Yeah, this is one of the most electric crowds I've ever heard either. Like, just for an Xfinity race.
It worked for a while, and then I just got stuck in it. Man, I wish that would have worked. That would have been a playoff spot, but I just got to thank Wheelan, Trent Shoring, Chevrolet, everyone at RCR, ECR Motors, all my guys. We've been through hell and back this year, but to have a run like that, it gives the whole team confidence in our cars, and we're getting better. I don't think we're where we want to be, but yeah, just that's all I can ask for, the car that I was shot with, and that's what I had tonight. So hope I gave the fans a show there. That was a wild ending, and I want to thank them for sticking out in the rain.
There you go. They will have 2 more shots, Kim, to make the playoffs, but certainly an impressive day for Sheldon Creed, who winds up, after all that, second.
And that, after all that, was the battle with Larson. You rebounded from a cut tire to battle for the lead. Walk us through those last few laps.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was just trying to be patient as I caught them too, and catch them racing to hopefully get by both of them, and was able to get by Noah when they got side by side off at 2, and I could see Sheldon was really loose in front of me, so I was just trying to stay patient behind him, and obviously we were coming to the wide, and I didn't want to get to his inside on the front stretch because I knew what happened would happen, so I was trying to plan is where I could be behind him, but I had such a good run off of 4 that I had to make the move, and he was just on my door and got me really loose, and I had to chase it up the track and got into him, and just a lot of fun. He was racing really hard for his first win. You could see, and it was just a lot of fun from all of our seats, and crazy to be a part of a finish like that. So congrats to Noah, congrats to Sheldon too. I mean, like I said, that was a lot of fun race with him, and would have honestly liked to see him win in that fashion, riding the wall like that. But hey, it was a good race. I know all the fans had to have enjoyed that one. That was one of the best finishes I think we've seen in a long time. So glad to be a part of it. Wish I would have come out the winner, but either way, I had a lot of fun. And thanks to everybody on this car. They worked really hard. You were 2 laps down at one point in the first stage, and I was able to fight back. So had a blast. Hottest race I've ever been in my life with the crush panels knocked out, but had a blast.
Like Kyle Larson said, a fun battle to watch. He'll settle for 5th here this evening. Parker?
Well, Kim, we've been hanging out here with Noah Gregson, let him catch his breath, get some water. So, Noah, I just want to ask you quickly about those last couple laps, making the right decisions. How'd you know where to go?
Yeah, sorry, I'm finally ready. I did such a big-ass burnout that all the smoke got in my visor.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
A little dizzy there, but
that makes sense.
What a hell of a job by everybody on this Bats Pro Shop True Temper Black Rifle team, and all you fans. Was that cool? Did we put on a show for you guys? They seemed to like it. Sheldon Creed was really fast, and really all the JRM cars, Justin Allgaier and Kyle Larson. Kyle came on strong there at the end, and
watched during that rain delay him running the top and 1 and 2, and I knew there was a lot of speed there, so I went up there and I found something, and Sheldon pitched me off, and 17 got by me, and then it was like 3 to go, and I was like, oh, they're going to get into each other racing too hard. The two, he's got nothing to lose. He was racing his tail off, and Kyle's going for a win, but what a job by everybody at Junior Motorsports, and the Hendrick Power was awesome today. 2 more, Mr. H, 2 more, buddy. We're getting close, and man, just so excited. We won this race here last year, and then we put on one hell of a show for the fans. So that's what the Xfinity Series is all about. Thank you, Xfinity and NASCAR, and especially all you fans for coming out to Too Tough to Tame. It's gonna be a great weekend.
It was an awesome race, and Noah Gragson is your winner at Darlington, guys.
There's all guy up there with him.
But I want to hand it off to the guys here in the booth.
No, I was getting concerned for him there for a minute, though. I thought, like, I don't know, it looked like he was going to faint or pass out. Like, he did not look right after that. Yeah, I think he needs to maybe pull it back on the, like, I love the big-ass burnouts, trust me, I do. But, like, maybe you need to pull it back a little bit. Because it's the second time now where Pocono, he had that same, like, he threw up on the racetrack afterwards. You know?
He feels the right front go down, so what do? You literally turn right and ride the wall. Watch right here. He just turns it right, goes back to wide open throttle, and this is unbelievable.
But all right, everybody. I think Darlington might be my new favorite track. I mean, Jesus. But yeah, I'll be live tomorrow at 5:45 for the race. I think that's when it. Let me see when the green flag is. Let me see when the green flag is tomorrow.
To the crowd, yes, they did enjoy it very much, and so did we. We'll be back to wrap things up in a moment.
So, you're at the age now where you may start feeling certain urges to buy things at full price.
You read my diary?
But honey, you should really think about practicing safe spending with Amazon.
All right, yeah, 6:19 is the green flag, so I'll be live at 5:45. I want to thank